President's Day. It's
is.
a holiday, apparently, for everybody but us. It is the Blitz here on San Antonio Sports Star, ESPN AM 1250, 103.3 FM. He's Joe Reinagel. I'm Jason Minix.
Good weekend.
It was a great weekend.
Yeah, it was.
Raise your hand, though, if you realized it could have been a 4-day weekend or a long 3-day weekend if you had planned appropriately.
Yeah, I guess so.
But I did not know that everybody in the world had the day off today.
Well, for me, it wouldn't matter because even if I was off on this particular job, I still have another one for a week.
You know, a lot of people in this world work 2 jobs, Joe.
I know they do,
and
that's great. I have nothing against them.
So the TV's doing news tonight?
TV's doing news. Very seldom. In fact, there is no holiday that I'm aware of. In fact, there isn't. I am aware of it, that you have a holiday off. You work every day, Christmas Day, Thanksgiving Day, New Year's Day.
You know, I find that interesting because a lot of times you would think, especially in television, that on holidays you get not the main anchors, but the other anchors that will get a chance on the anchor desk. Is that not the case?
That's the case, yeah. Typically,
I mean, so there's always news, but the news doesn't always have to include you.
Right, it doesn't.
You'll get the holidays. You're Joe Reinagel, damn it.
I'll get the day off, or I'm taking a vacation, or something to that effect. Used to be, though, you know, as I got older, I would work New Year's Eve, you know, because it was no big deal. I'd let the younger kids go party. But now, even, you know, the last couple of years, it's like, nah. I'm going to take that too.
Somehow I don't recall you ever working a New Year's Eve so the young kids could go party.
I did.
That must have happened one time and you lost a bet.
That was it's just the kind of guy I am,
Jason.
No,
BS, man. It was you. You must have lost a bet somewhere along the way.
Well, you know, Ken's used to have that whole downtown thing,
oh,
right?
Yeah.
We had that for a while.
Oh, so that was fun work.
It wasn't bad.
Yeah.
It wasn't bad because we'd hang out down at that
the Fairmont.
Hotel,
you get the rooms down there.
Exactly.
And the VIP bottle service and pretend you're on the air for 30 minutes freezing your ass off.
Last one I did was REO Speedwagon was down there. It was freaking cold.
That was like 4 years ago, none degrees.
It was cold.
Yes.
Right. And that poor REO Speedwagon dude, who's probably the size of a toothpick anyway. I mean, he's a real skinny guy. He was freezing his butt off. But they had 2 jet engine heat things going on. Were you there?
I was.
Wow.
If it's the one I was thinking of, because I know there was one with Pat Benatar, and you have to say your husband's name that nobody remembers his name, but it's kind of a package deal. But when my niece first moved to Texas, she had been here Christmas at her house in Portland, moved here, and hey, we're going to this New Year's thing. We got all this, and she thought she was moving to Texas and didn't bring winter stuff. And she's like, "No, I'll be fine. Yeah, I'll be fine."
Not that night.
No, it was the those fancy porta potties with the heaters on them in the trailer. Yeah, she spent more time in there just trying to stay warm.
Dude, I'm telling you, it was really cold that time.
4 songs and out.
Yeah, there were a lot of those that were really cold, but that particular one was very cold. Very cold. But those were fun. And you know, the best thing about that deal was that as soon as the fireworks were over, I mean, people just scattered.
Well, yeah.
I mean, it would be empty within about 10 minutes.
You know, the best place to go if you get a chance for New Year's Eve is somehow get into the Tower. You can get into the Tower of Americas for New Year's, or maybe somewhere one of the rooftop bars, whether like the Drury Plaza or the Hyatt, one of those areas, because the city does a great fireworks show, but when you're up that high and you can see all of San Antonio in their fireworks show, that is the best place to be.
Yeah, I always thought fireworks feel illegal in the city limits.
It's a blind eye.
It's kind of a gray area, right?
It really is. It's kind of one of those. It is a rule, but if nobody enforces it, what the hell?
Exactly. I've done that. It's fun. I've got a scar on my foot to prove it.
I don't know what the statute of limitations are on this.
Oof. Well, this was what is it? 2022. This one is back in like 2005.
Okay.
Yeah. So I'll tell it real quick, and that was back when Jack Daniels and I were really good friends.
Oh yeah.
We're no longer friends, but we're shooting bottle rockets, and I thought it was cool. You stick them in the ground, light them, they go up. Pow. This one and it must have been the 4th of July. It wasn't New Year's Eve. So anyway, we're shooting off bottle rockets. So I put one in. And right as I light this thing and go, and I'm wearing flip flops and shorts.
Yeah.
This thing is just like a guided missile.
Yeah.
It goes down. And then hits me right on the top of the foot, and bam.
Mm-hmm.
You know, I'm laughing about it that night. Next day I get up, I got a big hole in my foot, and it was painful.
I've had me and some friends are very much into fireworks over certain holidays.
Yeah.
And we put on one hell of a show, but one year it was New Year's. Thank God, because I was wearing a coat, but I was lighting and running, and one tilted over. I thought I got shot in the back. I did get it. It didn't burn my coat. It didn't put a hole anywhere, but I had the biggest bruise on my back up by my shoulder blade one year, and it was.
Dude, you remember how? And I don't know if you did this as a kid. As a kid, we get the garbage can as a shield and have Roman candle fights.
Absolutely.
Yes.
Absolutely.
These kids today, they're soft.
Yeah, but they have all their fingers. So
they do, right?
Go figure.
Well, fortunately, so do we.
Yeah, but what about your toes?
Yeah, well,
I mean, no wonder your pedicures are cheaper. They only got to do 9.
Got all the toes, but I do have a little scar on top of my foot that reminds me not to do that again.
Yeah, fireworks are dangerous.
Yeah. Yes, they are.
Kids, a PSA from Joe Reinagle. Fireworks are dangerous.
They can be, yes, but fun.
Yeah, so it was a good weekend.
Great weekend.
Friday, I went up to Austin. I had a couple people say, and I heard, because when you work in radio, no matter what you say, Joe, it will get back to you.
Yeah.
So apparently, you and Jimenez were having fun ragging me, the metal guy, going to a country concert, a sold-out concert in Austin, of all things.
Yeah. And we had some listeners, too, that were kind of ragging on you and wanting an explanation as to why Jason Minix, the metalhead, is at a country and western concert.
Well, I like Texas country. I tried to explain it's either Americana. It could be called Americana. Could be called Red Dirt or Texas country. And Cody Johnson certainly falls into that realm. And Ian Munsick falls into that realm, although he's a Texas country guy from Wyoming, but he's really good. And sometimes when the wife wants to go, you go.
That's exactly what it is. It's exactly what it is. But no, I'm sure it was a great time.
It was.
Yeah. And Cody Johnson is really good anyway.
Cody Johnson is really good.
Yeah.
But it was also, I'm gearing up as, things are coming back. And I've been to a handful of concerts since things are returning to normal. I'm going to see Metallica Friday.
Yeah, yeah.
And Bruno Mars on Saturday. Go figure.
That's kind of different.
Yeah,
right?
I mean, my musical tastes are all over. Although you can guess which one wanted to go see Bruno Mars and Silk Sonic, and which one is going to see Metallica.
Well, you got to do that, but that'll be fun. Bruno Mars, big fan of Bruno Mars. I like his music.
Although I got to admit, I hate going to shows in Vegas.
Yeah.
I've wasted more tickets to like Cirque du Soleil or whatever because you're in Vegas. And now I'm going to concerts on back-to-back nights in Vegas.
Well, we'll see if you make them both.
Well, I'll make one.
Yeah?
Friday's a guarantee.
It's a guarantee.
Saturday?
Maybe not.
It depends on how things are going. Although I'm excited to go see Bruno Mars.
I would be too. I think he's good. He's got some great songs, and I would like to go see Bruno Mars. That would be good. Concerts and shows in Vegas, though, depending on how you're doing and how badly you want to leave the casino is whether you make that show or not.
Well, I've seen some good I've seen Metallica in Vegas before at a festival, and that was a lot of fun. Green Day went for like 4 hours one night in Vegas. They were only supposed to go 2, and Billy Joe Armstrong kept saying, "Let's keep going. We're in Vegas. What the hell?" And part of me was thinking, dude, I need to go. But, it was one of those concerts that you didn't sit down the entire time. It was incredible. In others, you're like, all right, man, let's go.
Wrap it up.
It's almost over. Let's beat the crowd.
Sometimes that's good, though. You need a break from losing all your money. So you go to a concert or a show for a couple of hours, and that's not a bad thing.
I got to admit, though, and I'm hoping it was because it was Super Bowl weekend, but I had 3 different sets of friends not traveling together, but in Vegas last weekend for the Super Bowl.
Oh, wow.
And all 3 of them said it sucked on the tables.
Oh, I bet.
I mean, it's and
it's expensive too, right?
$50 minimum blackjack up near Aria and Bellagio, and even downtown they weren't finding cheap tables.
Yeah.
So maybe I don't need to spend a lot of time playing blackjack, especially since my daughter's going to be there, which means I've got to pay for her gambling as well. And she doesn't need to play $50 a hand with my money.
That's awesome. You know what Maggie and I have learned now, you don't make plans when you've had a few drinks. You don't want to do that. And I'll explain that to you because we went and saw Sebastian Maniscalco over the weekend in Austin.
Yep.
Right. And we look at his schedule. Memorial Day weekend, he's in Vegas.
Oh, nice.
At the Wynn.
Yeah.
So we had such a great time. We were laughing. Let's go see him in Vegas.
Yeah.
Bam. Bought the tickets. Made plans to go to Vegas Memorial Day weekend.
Ain't nothing wrong with that.
Well, I hope not. But, man, I'm looking forward to it. And I just, what I'm afraid of is the same show. But that's okay because the guy is really funny, man. If you get a chance to see him, go see him.
You'll be in Vegas. Now, word to the wise, and Pledge certainly knows this well, is you and Maggie and, we start hanging out more and more at the Rue Pub.
Right.
Rue Pub is a very, very dangerous place when it comes to booking travel.
It is.
A lot of my trips, like this one, coming up this weekend, start at the Rue Pub with a couple of drinks, and then it's like, yeah, okay, cool. And then you're booking on Southwest because it's so easy to do on the phone.
Yep.
And off you go.
It was, and as soon as we got out, because we got out of the concert, we took an Uber back to the hotel. We're having dinner. It's about 9:00, and so we're
9:00. It was an early show.
It was a set. Well, he does two shows. We went to the early show. He had another show at 9:30.
Well, you should have gone to the 9:30 show.
Probably should have.
That's where all the kids go.
Probably should have.
You went to the ARP show,
but it was packed.
Yeah,
it was packed. So and it looked like it was going to be packed for the next show too. Right there at the University of Texas. I don't even remember the name of the thing, but it was a really nice auditorium, kind of like the Majestic in a way. So we get out and we're having dinner, waiting for the food to come, and just talking about what a great show it was. And we said, bam. And I didn't even snap right at first that was Memorial Day weekend. I said, man, I'm going to have to go see if I can get a Monday off. I'm the new guy. And then I realized it was Memorial Day, and I think I'm okay. I'm safe.
Yeah, but the new guys work on Monday.
Not on Memorial Day.
Us veteran guys get the day off.
Is that what it is?
It'd probably be like you and Jimenez.
Well, Pledge can do that.
Yeah, or Pledge. That's what it boils down to. Yeah, it's interesting because it is a holiday.
Yeah.
Everybody worked today except Rob Thompson.
Oh, Thompson didn't work today.
Thompson didn't work today.
See, I slept in this morning, so I didn't hear R&R in the morning.
Yeah. Yeah, I rolled out of bed thinking it was a normal work day type thing and put on, and I see Rudy and Pledge. So I'm wondering if Rob is sick. Text him, you all right? And yeah, dude, it's holiday. I go, but I'm working? Well, yeah.
It's all good, man, because there was a lot of stuff going on this weekend, a lot of stuff to talk about today. It's funny how, football's over, but yet there is still a lot of stuff going on, a lot of stuff to talk about.
Welcome to the world of talk radio.
I love it.
And 14 years here at ESPN San Antonio, I've been hosting Afternoon Drive. And there was one day in that 14 years where I thought, we ain't got crap going on. What are we going to do?
Right.
What are we going to do? And on that particular day, at about 1:30 in the afternoon, Bountygate and all the Sean Payton stuff broke loose. So, and there's always something going on. Speaking of 14 years, we're celebrating our birthday this Thursday out at the Rue Pub. Jimenez is going to get things going with halftime at noon. Then, of course, Joe and I will be out there 4 to 7 with the Blitz. Lots of big names are scheduled to come join us, local celebrities in the sports field. As we get closer, we'll let you know who, but one might be an NFL running back. One might be a head coach of a certain UTSA football team. One might, it's always going to be fun, and we'll have lots of cool stuff to give away.
Well, just going out to the Rue Pub is fun anyway. So just come on out and join us. The food's great. The drinks are cold, and come have a good time with us.
4 to 7 for the Blitz, noon to 2, go have lunch with Jimenez. Imagine we'll all get out there pretty early on Thursday. And hell, I'm leaving Friday for Vegas, so Thursday is going to be a lot
of fun. Party time, right?
Some of us might have to leave and go to another job. But me, I'll be there. Pledge, he'll be there.
Pledge will be there.
Rob and Rudy will be there.
By the way, the countdown's on. Can we have like a clock going?
The Reinagle retirement countdown?
It's getting close. In fact, 1 week right now. So 6 shows left.
6 shows.
Counting tonight. So we'll go 5 this week and 1 Monday.
18 minutes of television left in your world.
18. That's it. My dad would be proud. son, where do I get a job like yours? You work 6 minutes a day.
Yeah. Well, and then they took away the 5. You work 3 now.
I know.
Yeah.
Well, that was part of
part of the
deal,
6,
right?
Yeah,
so I could sit here with you.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah. So you're down to 3 minutes a day.
3 minutes a day.
If people only knew what it took to get to 3 minutes.
I know it takes a little bit, right?
Yeah, it does. It does. But you want a retirement countdown clock. We're at 18 minutes.
18 minutes.
Tomorrow we'll be at 15 minutes.
Okay.
I can't believe they're making you actually come to work on a Monday.
Well, they are, but that was the end. It was the end of the month. It just seemed like the good day, right? Because it's the last day of February. Yeah, and I don't even think we're in the book. Part of February is a ratings book, because I think that ends like this week, Wednesday night.
Oh.
But
call in sick. I'm kidding.
Well, it depends, right? So we'll see. But
Vinny can do it.
Yeah. Well, he's going to have to.
Yeah.
He's going to have to start doing a lot of it. So this is his last week of vacation, so to speak.
Although I think Sharon Coe did sports the other night for you. She did fantastic.
Well, Sharon Coe can do anything. I like Sharon Coe. And congratulations to her, by the way. Can I just say?
On her engagement.
She just got engaged. So I'm happy for her that she's happy and she deserves it. That's good.
Absolutely. All right. So lots of stuff happening this weekend, as you mentioned. I didn't realize the Olympics were already over.
I didn't really care.
The most horrific Olympic story we will talk about coming up in, 30 minutes or so. It's the only Olympic talk we're going to have, and it really might be the worst thing you could ever hear, and it's happened to the same dude twice.
Which is his fault. It's like, mess with me once, shame on you. Mess with me twice, shame on me.
Yeah.
And this is a shame on him.
Yeah, dude. Again, it's one of those stories that the Olympics have just come and gone, and I just time difference. I don't know. Yeah. I tried watching a little bit of hockey because I like hockey. Outside of that, I didn't watch any of it, and we haven't talked about any of it. I think a big part of that, a whole week of it, we were at the Super Bowl.
That's true. Yeah.
But the Olympics are over. But there is one story that sticks out.
Yeah, and you need to hear it.
We will get into it. Mm-hmm. Stop it, Pledge. Stop it. Stop it. Stop it. Stop it. Come on, Pledge. James Pledger producing, as always. He never gets a day off.
No, he doesn't. In fact, he's working a marathon day on this President's Day.
Well, it's how it goes. So do we want to? There's a couple of big stories today. And deciding what's the big story is kind of interesting.
Yeah.
Juwan Howard and what happened between Michigan and Wisconsin, we will get into. But our big story is what we saw last night from Dejounte Murray at the All-Star game. And I say it that way. It's been a while since a San Antonio Spur played the minutes that he played in an All-Star game and showed out in an All-Star game the way he did. I loved the weekend for Dejounte Murray, all the stuff he put on social, from the suit, everything that he did. But the highlight reel dunks, the passing to himself off the backboard dunk that he did, I love seeing that from a Spur.
What I love is that he enjoys it. And I'm not sure that some of the old-time all-stars still enjoyed it, although Steph Curry enjoyed it because he went off last night. But, it's good to see somebody that, it's their first time there. They're going to enjoy the experience, every minute of it, every single play, every interaction, all of that stuff. And Dejounte had a good time, you could tell, and I was happy for him.
Well, and he even said after the game, what a great weekend, what a great moment it was. And I like the way he put it, because he showed he belongs to everybody out there.
Absolutely.
But I think he convinced himself that he belongs.
Maybe.
It was great. Thankful for the opportunity. I had a lot of fun. My family had fun. Tears of joy. Everybody just happy for me. But I got a lot of work to do because I'm not a one-hit wonder. And I got to be back here. There ain't no way I can miss out on these type of events. It's just a hell of a weekend, so I got to keep working.
Not a one-hit wonder.
Don't
want to miss out on these events. And you're right. And he showed, the minutes that he played.
Yeah.
And the way he played, the only negative or downside is, and I don't know which broadcast most of you are watching. I tried watching their deal on TBS with Chuck and Shaq, but as much as I love those guys on their pre and post game show, I did not enjoy that aspect of it last night. So I went back to Kevin Harlan on regular TNT. But because Steph was hitting every 3-pointer that he put up, couple of the big plays from Dejounte, they didn't even get a replay because of what Steph was doing, which is understandable.
I guess it is understandable. Can I just say this for the record, though? Steph Curry is the best player in the NBA right now, bar none.
Okay.
If I had to start a team right now, Steph Curry would be my guy. You can have LeBron, you can have Giannis. Those guys are great players. Joel Embiid. But if I had to start a team right now, give me Steph Curry all day.
You know, for argument's sake, John Morant might be the guy. To me, I love watching John. If I'm starting a team today, Steph's been in the league a long time. I'm going young. And Morant's going to be the face of the NBA before long.
I would not be surprised.
That dude is incredible. If I was starting a team today, I think I'd go youth because Steph is getting up there. LeBron is going to play till he can play with Bronny. He talked about that. All right, dude. There's a lot of talent in this league.
Yep.
But I love watching John Morant play.
He's a great player, no question. But give me Steph Curry if we're starting a team today. And I'll take him for as long as I can. The guy's the most dynamic, exciting player to watch and play. He's just so smooth.
Mm-hmm.
I love watching that guy play. And every night he could put up 50.
He could. And the way he was knocking down those threes, although after he got to 50, what he missed 4 or 5 in a row, trying to get the record. Then, of course, he got the game winner from LeBron, which seemed appropriate that he would hit the game winner in Cleveland so Team LeBron could win. And afterwards, it was one of those moments where you feel like LeBron actually appreciated the moment.
I couldn't have dreamt it. I could not have dreamed of that moment any better than the actuality that just happened. For me to be back here, like I keep stating, 35 minutes south of where I grew up here in Akron, Ohio, to hit the game winner in the All-Star game where me and my guys back in the back, we used to watch the All-Star game. And, I remember 25 years ago, we was 12, 11, wishing that we had the opportunity or the means to come up to Cleveland and see some of the greatest basketball players of all time because they inspired us so much. And for me to be here today, for my best friends, to be here for my wife and my kids and my family, my mom, and so many people that seen me grow from really a young toddler to who I am today. It was I couldn't picture that moment any better.
And he hit the winner, and I know a lot of talk this weekend, Joe Reinagel was, and it's a debate that people of certain age are never going to let go. Who's the GOAT? Is it LeBron or Michael Jordan, right? But he talks about all the greats in that place. Well, Michael Jordan leaves the Daytona 500, shows up for the NBA top 75. And you could just tell who the GOAT is when he walks in the room, and all those other greats are like, holy crap, Michael Jordan is here.
Michael Jordan, not only that, he got the biggest applause.
He did.
Of all of them in Cleveland.
Yes.
It wasn't LeBron James. It was Michael Jordan, who is the GOAT. They're two different players.
Very.
Two different eras. So the younger people are going to, that never got to experience watching Michael Jordan play ball, can't really appreciate what he did and what he meant to the game. LeBron's a great player. There's no question about it. But he's second. He's not first.
You're right. In my mind, it will always be that way. And I hate that we always have to try to rank players because I don't want to credit Michael Jordan. It feels like you're discrediting something LeBron has done, but it will always be Michael Jordan for me.
Always.
I look at, I don't know how many more championships LeBron has in his future.
None.
Exactly.
He's got none.
Exactly.
The Lakers are a clown show right now. LeBron is trying to pressure them to trade him or get rid of him or get some players.
Sounded like he was trying to hire Sam Presti over the weekend, too.
He's upset because the Lakers didn't go out and make some moves, they're before the trade deadline, which is another reason I like a guy like Dejounte Murray. He was asked about management and getting involved in those decisions, and Dejounte simply said, I'm a basketball player. I'm going to go play ball. I'm going to leave those decisions for those guys. That's what they do. I play ball. That's what I'm going to do. I love that about him. I tell you what, I'm becoming more and more and more of a Dejounte Murray fan with every passing day. The guy is just his mental outlook, the way he plays on the court. I'm just becoming a big fan.
I am too, in the sense, not that I wasn't before, but he is becoming one of San Antonio.
No question.
He is becoming a part of San Antonio lore. Now, I heard Jimenez say earlier on halftime that jersey and the Raptors kind of thing. No,
it's a little early for that.
Way early.
Way
early for that. And I know the standard is pretty low for San Antonio.
Johnny Moore.
The bar is the bar is low for those that are already up there. Johnny Moore.
Some of them, Johnny Moore.
But he's not ready for the Raptors. That's a waste of breath as far as the conversation. But I'm rooting hard for him.
No question about it.
And I think part of it is because at the beginning of this year, I didn't expect him to be here. I thought he was the only tradable piece that we had of value that you would be willing to let go of. And at this point, no, there's no way you could trade a Dejounte Murray at this point. He is the future of the San Antonio Spurs.
This was his make or break year with the San Antonio Spurs. When they got rid of DeRozan, Patty Mills, all of those pieces, Pop went to Dejounte and said, okay, this is yours. Drive it. And he has driven it, and he's proven that he is among the elite of the NBA now, and I'm happy for him. And I think the sky's the limit as far as his talent goes.
Absolutely agree. We'll get into the disaster that was the slam dunk contest and All-Star Saturday night coming up at 5 o'clock. But, there's always NFL news to talk about. We'll get into that as we continue here on the Blitz. First, let me tell you about Quarter Moon Plumbing, Heating, and AC. If you are having any kind of issues at the house with your plumbing, your heater, your AC, in a week like this, you need your AC at the beginning of the week, your heater at the end. There's one company to call, and that is Quarter Moon at 210-651-5899. At Quarter Moon, they are full service, big job, small job, residential or commercial. Their service trucks are fully stocked, and they have all the equipment needed for any job. At Quarter Moon, they do not have commission sales reps. They'll provide estimates and second opinions. They have a great experienced staff that has earned an A-plus ranking with the Better Business Bureau. And at Quarter Moon, they are green certified. 210-651-5899 is the phone number. 651-5899 or online, quartermoonplumbing.com.
NFL Combine is scheduled to start next week, but hold on, we might not have it. We'll talk about that right after a SportsCenter update with James Pledger.
Thanks, Joe. We'll start in the NFL. Speaking of the Combine, Sports Illustrated's Mike Fisher reports the Cowboys are expected to prioritize re-signing wide receiver Michael Gallup this offseason. Gallup had ACL surgery last month and is targeting an August return. In the NBA, at the All-Star game, Team LeBron beat Team Durant in Cleveland 163-160 as LeBron sealed it with the game-winning fadeaway. Steph Curry took home the MVP, scoring 50 and hitting a record 16 threes, while San Antonio's Dejounte Murray had a great night, scoring 17 points for Team Durant in the loss to go along with 5 assists and 5 rebounds. I'm James Pledger for San Antonio Sports Star, ESPN AM 1250 and 103.3 FM.
Not all pizza places are the same. Mellow Mushroom originated hand-tossed, stone-baked classic Southern pizza. Not in the mood for pizza? Order a calzone, hoagie, sandwich, burger, or a mellow salad and see how care goes into every item on the menu. Take your pick from 24 draft beers and or handcrafted cocktails. And many of the pizzas can be made gluten-free or vegan. Mellow Mushroom is at 1604 in Stone Oak Parkway. Hang with friends, watch the game, and mellow out at Mellow Mushroom.
Running a small business means just that, always running.
Woo, you're not kidding.
Which is why this holiday, while the other guys, not mentioning any names, are kicking it back, we'll be kicking it into gear by leaving our doors open for you. So whatever the ing you need this holiday, whether it's packing, shipping, or mailboxing, we'll be right here waiting.
Now that's an ing worth celebrating.
The UPS Store, every ing for small business, all in one place.
The UPS Store.
The UPS Store locations are independently owned. Product, services, pricing, and hours may vary. See Center for details.
Tonight isn't just epic, it's extreme.
That's right. The premiere of AGT Extreme with the biggest, most exciting acts you've ever seen.
Like people swimming less than 30 minutes after they eat. Extreme.
More like huge jaw-dropping acts. No special effects, no stuntmen, 100% extreme.
Like full contact knitting. Extreme.
Not exactly. This one's hosted by Terry Crews with judges Travis Pastrana, Nikki Bella, and Simon Cowell.
Ooh.
AGT Extreme premieres tonight on NBC.
Or a bunch of puppies.
Oh.
Extremely cute.
I give up.
The Roo Pub is the best place to watch a game. Football, basketball, the big fights, they have them on at the Roo on their 3 massive 170-inch laser screens and TVs all around. Come hungry, the food is fantastic, and the kitchen is open until 2 a.m. every day with the full menu available. The Roo Pub has the best darts area in town, indoor cornhole and weekday happy hour from 11 to 6. For lunch, dinner, or late at night, and the best place to watch a game, get into the Roo Pub at 281 in Redland Road. We'll see you at the Roo.
Did the guy driving the 18-wheeler which wrecked into you focus too much on looking at himself in the mirror and not the road in front of him? His hair is still a mess, and now you're seriously hurt. If you or a loved one is hurt in a wreck with an 18-wheeler or company vehicle, don't call just any dude. Call the dude, the personal injury dude. Mark Poling at Poling Law PLLC at pidude.com. That's pidude.com. Or call 210-201-0303, 24 hours a day.
Water stains on the shower glass. Try rubbing some shaving cream on them.
Tyler's cleaning crew knows every housekeeping trick in the book.
Handling timesheets now.
But they need a proper bookkeeper to keep finances tidy.
New equipment is a business expense, right?
Indeed can help them hire great people fast.
I need Indeed.
Indeed you do. Instant Match instantly connects you with quality candidates whose resumes on Indeed match your sponsored job description. Visit Indeed.com/credit and get $75 towards your first sponsored job. Terms and conditions apply.
Exergen would like you to know about an important study just released by the FDA. It confirms what the medical community has known all along. Non-contact thermometers are not accurate. The study also reports that they fail to meet FDA requirements for accuracy in labeling. We can't afford to tolerate the rampant false temperature readings from non-contact thermometers. Accurate temperature measurements are essential. You need Exergen thermometers because they are accurate and backed by over 100 clinical studies. Be sure, be accurate with Exergen. Learn more at Exergen.com.
Second it takes. The Blitz with Joe Reinagle and Jason Minix. San Antonio Sports Star, ESPN 1250 and 103.3 FM.
You know, backpedaling is a big part of the NFL Combine. And it certainly seems like the NFL and or the Combine are doing some backpedaling now after their idea of a bubble is bursting. It is the Blitz here on San Antonio Sports Star, ESPN AM 1250, 103.3 FM. He's Joe Reinagle. I'm Jason Minix. On Twitter, he is at JoeKens5. Tweet at me at Jason Minix, or the Kia Bossa Bacon phone lines 210-656-ESPN, 656-3776. You know, late last week, Joe, we heard they're going to do this bubble idea for the Combine.
Right.
That went over like a lead balloon.
Yeah.
Nobody wants to deal with a bubble.
No.
And quite frankly, after what we did in Los Angeles with the mask and all the different places, like most people are just over it, right? No matter what you believed prior to, you're getting to the point where
it's enough.
So this idea of a bubble seemed like a bad idea. Even reading some of the stuff that they were trying to do within the bubble for the Combine seemed like a bad idea. And a bunch of agents said, screw it. We're not going to put our players through that.
And there's no reason to do that. I'm not sure what the NFL is trying to do. And I'll go back to the Super Bowl. I'll go back to the NFL season, the last, 6 weeks. It didn't seem like there were any COVID rules going on, right? Especially when the playoff came around.
COVID rules or COVID positive consequences.
That,
you know, like you look at like bowl games that weren't part of the playoff, there were COVID issues.
Yeah.
The teams in the playoff,
nothing.
No COVID issues.
No.
Teams in the NFL playoffs, no COVID issues.
So this is weird. The way I understand this is that the NFL says you can only bring like one massage therapist, which they ought to get away from that. Ask Desean Watson.
Well, they're not getting them on Instagram.
Or a doctor, right? One. And so you can't really do anything else. And if you do or you're caught, they're going to send you home. my problem is, what NFL scout or general manager, if the guy you're looking at is sent home, you're still going to look at him. So these agents are basically saying, well, screw that. We'll just do the pro days at the particular college or somewhere, and they'll get a look at us in. We don't need to come to the combine.
Well, most guys have better workouts at the pro day because they're in their regular routine. You know, I've seen a couple of agents say the combine is kind of a train wreck to begin with because players aren't in their regular routine. They're not getting proper nutrition. They're not getting proper rest, which is the most important job interview of your life, yet you're not on a normal schedule, right? And you have certain things that you like to do. So up to 155 players aren't going to participate in the workouts. They're going to come, do the medicals because they have to do that, but they're not going to do the workouts because the bubble restrictions make it damn near impossible for them to be successful. Now, and I didn't know this, apparently the combine isn't actually run by the NFL. It's got its own little sideshow. So Dr. Alan Sills, the league's chief medical officer, has said that he wasn't consulted at all about the combine bubble and the rules that they were putting in place. The league is now privately pushing the idea that the combine operates independently from the league, and the league doesn't create or enforce policies at the combine.
Well, perhaps they should then.
Well,
and who does?
I have no idea. I mean, I didn't know they farmed it out. I had no idea. But the idea that all these players aren't going to go work out, well, that hurts the NFL Network because the NFL Network televises all of the combine.
And it's a big event now.
It's a huge
I love watching
money-making TV event.
I love watching the combine because I love football. And right now, that's about all we get. So I want to see the combine. I want to see how these guys do. And there's always there are one or two players that are a big surprise. And look, you know, I've talked and not getting into the weeds on this thing, but these are young kids. They're healthy. They're going to be just fine. Everything's going to be fine. Would you just can we just get on with life?
Well,
please.
The idea and the hope is that the combine is going to eliminate the bubble concept. That's ultimately what they need to do. So players can have complete access to their physical therapy and their performance teams.
I'll bet you that happens.
And all of these guys, you hear about it all the time. Hell, I saw last night, Larry Ramirez did a story about DeVarvin Lee Allens and Sear McCormick. They're working out together at a place up in Frisco, right? As they get ready for the combine. So I'm guessing that whatever group, if they have the same agents or they're in the same group, that those groups, the players, the guys, the trainers, everybody, they all travel to Indianapolis for the combine to try to keep a routine there.
Sure.
Right. And that's what they need to do. And that's why pro days seem to be more successful and why some of the bigger name guys have shown up, but they've not done this drill or not done that drill because say they want to throw the receivers they're used to throwing to.
Right.
It's a job interview. Millions of dollars on the line. And now you have other players that normally would show up to say be the receivers at those deals. Well, they don't want to go either because they don't want to go into a bubble.
Well, nobody wants to go into a bubble. And when's the last time anybody was in a bubble anyway?
The NBA?
Yeah.
2 years ago.
So why in the world are the geniuses at this combine?
The Olympics. Yeah, they're in a bubble.
Okay, well, yeah but
I'm with you. It's a dumb idea.
What were they thinking? I mean, honestly, we got to go into a bubble. Why?
You know what?
For what reason?
It sounds like, which is half the bad ideas, some guy in a suit that is in charge of insurance stuff or liabilities decided without common sense that, well, if we bring all these people here and someone gets sick, are we liable?
Right.
Doesn't it kind of feel like that's where it's coming from? But when the NFL is trying to distance, the NFL doctor going, well, they didn't ask me.
Yeah.
And I'm the chief medical guy.
Because if they would have.
You'd have thought I'd be in on that email.
Right. Because if they would have asked him, he would have said that bubble is a horrible idea and we don't need it. Just let these guys do what they do so we can get a good look at them and get ready for the draft.
The other part of it, too, though, it's been in Indianapolis for a long time.
Yes.
And there's been talk that they're going to let it start moving around and go up for a bid. I know Jerry has tried to bid out the Ford Center.
Absolutely.
And why not? If you've been up there, it's got all the facilities you need. It's got the hotels. And it's generally better weather than Indianapolis this time of year.
It's Jerry Jones. He's going to make it happen, and it's going to turn into a first-class event.
Well, and again, now all of a sudden, it's a disaster in Indianapolis. I didn't know that they farmed it out to us, and that's what it sounds like. I don't know this, but it sounds like they farm it out to an event company to put on the combine. But also, we've seen in the last 5-10 years, the combine isn't really as important as the pro days. And guys can skip the combine and still get drafted in the first round because if you're that good, everybody is showing up to your pro day.
Well, here's the deal. If you're that good, it really doesn't matter what you do in the combine. If you were a good college player, Vince Young, remember that whole thing with his the Wonderlic test?
Yeah, but we don't release those anymore.
Well, of course. But I mean, he did horribly at it.
Mm-hmm.
He was the third pick in the draft. So I mean,
you get to talk to him. I think for the first round guys, you just go up there to solidify your spot. If you're, say, a Sincere McCormick,
that's where it's
the
important.
combine's important.
Yeah,
because but all these scouts have watched all the tape. You get the interview, they get to see you, but they're all coming to your pro day as well.
But you have a pretty good idea if you're an agent of a guy that you pretty much know if you're going to go first round, second round, you know what, you probably don't have to go to the combine. You don't have to be that impressive. If you mess up, it's going to be okay. You're still going to get drafted in the spot. But I think you're right. If you're a guy that's projected down the line, 5th, 6th, then that's probably a place you need to be. But we've talked about this before. You probably needed to play in that bowl game that you skipped too, and you shouldn't have missed that either.
It's all in that situation. But I would think the idea of the bubble and the backpedaling we're seeing from the NFL on this Monday tells me that bubble idea is going to go away because they can't afford to not have all these players show up and work out. They've already got it planned. They've already spent the money. But also from the TV side of things, are we going to watch another rerun in the Super Bowl?
Wow.
I mean, what are they going to do?
Yeah.
I mean, we can only watch Rich Eisen try a run of 40 so many times. You know what I mean? And trust me, there's a steakhouse in Indianapolis that has ordered a boatload of food for this weekend.
Yeah.
That can't go to waste.
Well, it's going to be interesting. And I have a feeling that the rules are going to change pretty quickly because, if we're talking about this here, everybody around the country's talking about it. And good and well, they're talking about this in Indianapolis and they're hearing the noise from everywhere else.
Mm-hmm.
They've got a week to change it. And I have a feeling it will get changed.
It's very interesting and we'll keep an eye on it, especially with some of our local guys.
Yeah.
That are, we think, headed to Indianapolis.
Yeah.
They're at least training for it.
Well, they'd like to be headed there. I promise you, they're excited about it. The two guys that you just mentioned, I mean, they're excited about it. They want to get up there and show what they can do. And they want to take their game to the next level. So it's just a bad idea. Whoever came up with this idea, whatever lawyer did it.
All-Star Saturday Night needs some good ideas.
Yes, it does.
We got to fix that. We'll give our ideas coming up in about 20 minutes at 5:00. But the only Olympic talk we've really had since it started is coming up next, and it's the worst thing that could ever happen.
Kind of hurts just to think about it.
It really, really does. We'll get into that as we continue here on the Blitz. If you're a business owner, a manager, a club leader, you need your logo on any gear, you need to get into Sammy's Embroidery Club down on San Pedro. Sam has plenty of inventory in stock. Not many can say that, but Sammy can. He's got polos, T-shirts, hats in stock, largest selection of caps, including the popular Richardson style cap in stock. You need jackets, coats, hoodies, half zips. Sam can do that for you as well. He has all the big name brands. Nobody has better prices. Sammy is the only company in Texas with 1-day turnaround. No order too small, certainly no order too big. And all items do come with a warranty. Over 700 uniform lines to choose from. And it's not just embroidery, silkscreen shirts as well for any occasion. Sammy's Embroidery and Printing. Call 210-824-3900. 824-3900. Or better yet, get into that massive showroom down on San Pedro, 1 mile inside Loop 410, next to Big Lots across from McDonald's, or go to the website samsembroidery.com for Sam's Embroidery Club.
Hi, this is Joe Reinagel. San Antonio Sports Star Drive to End Hunger is going on now through March 25th. Just go to sasportstar.com to give what you can or just find drop-off locations. It's all presented by the Institute for Functional Health, Rambler Sparkling Water, Copenhagen Imports, and Airtron.
You know, if you're dealing with any kind of injury, with the exception of the one we're about to talk to, if you twist, pull, pop, or snap something, you need to know about Dr. David Espinosa at TSAOG Orthopedics. Dr. Espinosa treats all non-surgical orthopedic injuries, and he has same-day and next-day availability. I don't think this covers ortho. Telemedicine services are also available. There is no reason for you to be in pain. If you're hurting, visit Dr. David Espinosa at TSAOG Orthopedics. Learn more at tsaog.com or schedule an appointment by calling 210-804-5490, 804-5490.
The San Antonio Home and Garden Show is coming up February 25th through the 27th, and the Window Source of San Antonio would love to see you there. We'll be there hoping homeowners just like you get quality windows at the price you deserve. Come by our booth and mention ESPN, and we'll knock off an additional 5%. Isn't it time you let them old windows go? Call the Window Source of San Antonio right now, 210-880-3021. That's 210-880-3021. Come visit our showroom at 6800 Fairgrounds Parkway, or visit us at windowsourceofsa.com.
Working from home, you realize you don't have enough outlets or USB ports. Hill Electric can fix that for you. For over 3 decades, the family-owned Hill Electric has served San Antonio homes and businesses. From adding an outlet, fixing that fuse that always blows, or that flickering light, Hill Electric has the right service at the right price, and there is never a service charge and always free estimates. Call Hill Electric at 210-404-9074. That's 404-9074. Or go to hill-electric.com.
When it comes to Twin Peaks beverages, they take things pretty seriously, which is why over the last few months they've been innovating, they've been creating, and they've created an elevated drink menu that is something for everyone. Their newest creations have already hit the bar. Get ready for additions like the Pink Whitney with Pink Lemonade Vodka by the Spittin' Chicklets Group, the Termana Silver, it's one of Dwayne Rock Johnson's premium tequilas. Cheers! Twins! Eats are fantastic. Drinks, they're icy cold, and oh, those scenic views!
Get the last water softener you'll ever own and tell them Dave Ramsey sent you.
The last water softener you'll ever own. Call 656-PURE Kinetico.
Visit KineticoSA.com.
There's never any FOMO with the iHeartRadio app. You won't ever have to miss out on your favorite shows and contests with this radio station again. Radio 24/7, 365. We're here when you want us. Stay connected and listen anywhere when you download the free iHeartRadio app.
It's drive and determination.
Catching a right-hand dunk.
It's magic and mayhem.
Long three is good.
We've got NBA action live on San Antonio Sports Star, ESPN 1250 and 103.3 FM.
Hey guys, it's Rudy J. Your home for sports talk is right here on San Antonio Sports Star, ESPN 1250 and 103.3 FM.
It is the Blitz here on San Antonio Sports Star, ESPN AM 1250, 103.3 FM. He is Joe Reinagel. I'm Jason Minix. Thursday, we're all going to be out at the Rue Pub, 281 in Redland Road, as we celebrate the station's 14th birthday. It's going to be a big party.
Big party, but the best is yet to come.
Absolutely, man. We're 14 and just getting started.
14, just getting going, and yeah, you're just kind of reaching puberty at that point, right?
Pretty much.
Pretty much, yeah.
I mean, we're learning about certain body parts, and at 14, you don't think that they could ever freeze. And at 49, I didn't know that it could freeze, but apparently a Finnish skier has found out the hard way that,
so to speak,
it freezes. Headline. Finnish skier suffers frozen penis during cross-country event at the Beijing Olympics.
Dude, how does that happen?
I have no idea. I still have no idea. But when you read the article, it's the second time he has suffered this injury.
Now, I have never heard of this injury before, or whatever you want to call it. So how come this doesn't happen to other guys?
Does it happen and they don't tell anybody?
Maybe.
I mean, when you investigate, because how do you see that headline and not click on it?
What?
Right?
That was kind of like COVID penis.
Yeah.
Right? I mean,
Well,
same thing. You had to look at it.
I mean, there's shrinkage involved in both, I would imagine.
Or maybe not.
Well,
If it's frozen, it might be enlarged.
That's a good point.
It certainly wouldn't be soft.
We're trying to be serious here. But in reality, he's a cross-country skier. It was brutally cold to the point where they even delayed the start of the event. They shortened the event from 50 kilometers to 30 because it was so cold. But apparently the uniforms, the outfits, the whatever you want to call them, are very thin because they're cross country. It's a speed event, so you don't want heavy clothes.
But it only happens to this guy
that we know of. Maybe it happens to others, and they just don't want to put that on the injury report.
Well, I'm just wondering who he did he go see a doctor? I mean, how do we know that this guy had this? Because unless he told somebody.
He said, quote, it was one of the worst competitions I've been in. It was just about battling through. He says you can, through a translator, you can guess which body part was a little bit frozen when I finished. And he described the pain as unbearable.
Hip thrusting, not a fan.
I'm wondering, Jason, and was this a reporter's question? How did your appendages turn out? Everything okay? I mean, how does this even come about? He's doing an interview there.
I don't know. I mean,
I'm baffled, and I think we need to know more about this. And
when the body parts started to warm up, he said after the finish, the pain was unbearable.
Now, how do you know it's frozen?
I think there's certain things I think frostbite on your third pole is a bad thing and pretty obvious.
Okay, frostbite, right? Is that the same thing as frozen?
I'm gonna guess that's what you're dealing with.
So I don't know.
When you're done and you realize something isn't right down there.
I'm not a doctor.
Hey doc, something's going on. Oh, that's frostbite.
Yeah. Well, I thought you could only get frostbite if it was exposed. Now I don't know. I'm not a doctor, and I don't pretend to be a doctor.
It's a thin layer.
It is a thin layer, but
I mean, his fingers are okay, but he was wearing gloves.
Well, I mean, still not. It's not. He's not skiing with this thing hanging out, is he?
I would hope not.
I mean,
maybe he had to stop and pee in the middle of the competition.
Well,
but it's happened to him before. This is the second time he has suffered this injury, according to him.
With all the modern technology, and you've got hand warmers for football. Can't you have a warmer that goes there? And he might impress the ladies because it'd probably be a bulge.
So you want him to wear a sock?
Or something.
Something.
Some sort of, there's got to be some sort of a heater they could make for that. I bet it would be sponsored too.
When we go to the Army Navy game every year, I always get, because I get cold easily, and I don't know what they're called, but those little warmer packs that you can put in your gloves.
Exactly.
And then you've got those little things that you can put in your shoes.
Yeah.
Shouldn't he just drop one in his undies?
Well, those things get pretty hot, though.
Well, it's better than having a frozen penis.
Either a frozen penis or a burned one. I mean, I don't know.
I don't know if it will burn you, but you're going to be sweaty. But but I would rather deal with that.
I'm just baffled that this is the only. I have so many questions, Jason. So many questions.
Well, but where is the technology?
Yeah.
Remember a couple of years ago for the Winter Olympics, Ralph Lauren was very proud of these very sleek-looking opening and closing ceremonies that they designed that had heaters in them.
Yes.
With battery packs.
Right.
You can buy that. Motorcycle guys can buy stuff that's battery operated and it kind of keeps you warm. I would think if I would rather not cross country ski than have this risk. There are certain things I'm willing to risk. This freezing is not one of them.
There's got to be an electric blanket kind of technology here, right? I mean,
yeah.
Some kind of a sock.
I mean, if Michael Jimenez will travel with a heating pad to Los Angeles, you would figure there's got to be a way to prevent something like this from happening. This is a Bobbitt-like tragedy.
Well, not quite.
Well,
but
I mean,
yeah, he still had it and it thawed. So I guess.
yeah, you're right. I mean, she just cut it right off.
Cut it right off and threw it
Lorena.
out the window. Yeah. Well,
Oh, gosh.
yeah. Did you get that directly from the guy?
Apparently, according to a friend of mine texting me, it is an actual thing called polar penis, and it's quite common.
Really?
Yes.
It's common.
Apparently for a lot of people that go skiing.
I had no idea.
Another reason not to go skiing.
You know, I've been skiing, but I don't recall that being a problem.
Maybe you warmed up by the fire before you noticed.
Maybe so. Maybe so.
Polar penis. It's an official thing.
Polar penis.
Thank you, Lisa, for sending this along.
That's interesting. Polar penis.
Are you going to report on this tonight at Ken's 5?
I may have to because, I mean, it is a sport, right?
Yes.
I mean, what are they going to do? Fire me?
Oh, man. Rudy J just said Pledge needs to chop this segment now.
Yeah.
I'm not sure what he's referring to there.
Well, that was I've still a lot of questions.
I don't know.
I've been covering sports for a long time, and this is a first. I've never heard of polar penis. Now, maybe if you're a sports guy in the North, maybe that's a common thing.
It might be. I mean, this is very different than what Ginobili went through. I mean, he literally gave his left one to the Spurs organization.
He did. Yes, he did.
And I thought at that point that might have been the worst thing that I've ever heard of.
I can hear the endorsement deals now. Do you have polar penis?
Now,
icy hot.
Now, didn't Dat Win have a way to stay warm without like putting clothes on?
It wasn't Dat Win's way, but Dat Win is the one that let the secret out of the bag for all the NFL types that go out in cold weather without sleeves. Is in the NFL they have a lotion. It's actually called Warm Skin, and you just put that lotion on it. It keeps your skin warm.
Well, there you go. Problem solved.
Although if you're skiing and you've got some lotion down there, then you're going to have other issues. I'm just saying. I mean, we created a whole nother problem.
You know, all kinds of pictures come to my mind. Have you ever seen the guy with the husky? He's got icicles hanging off his nose.
Yeah, the Iditarod races.
Right.
Yeah.
So I'm picturing this guy.
Yeah, but he's sitting on a warmer.
Oh.
He
didn't have that problem.
Well, but he's also got a lot of coats on. See, it's the thin uniform here that's the problem.
Well, I
mean, the guy's not worried about his nose.
Dude, there's got to be technology that can prevent this. I feel sorry for this guy.
It's happened to him twice. First time I would have felt sorry for him. No, dude, you're just an idiot. Because if that happened to you once, don't you figure in your training you come up with a way to prevent that from happening again?
Well, he's from Finland. I don't know what the deal is over there. Maybe they don't have the same technology. I don't know. I don't know. Or maybe that's a cool thing in Finland. Hey, second time for me.
You get an extra beer at the pub when you get home.
Hey, Bob, how many times have you had it?
Yeah, I'm going through polar penis
That's
again. Damn
right.
it. Give me a beer.
Dude, you're a man. Or you were.
Just have a shot of Fireball. You'll be fine.
Right.
It'll warm you up. Oh,
okay.
Rudy J just texted the group. A Blue Chew would be perfect right about now. Wow.
Oh, well, that was fun.
You good?
I'm good. Yes. I still have so many questions, though.
We'll answer them as we continue.
Yeah.
I mean, do you want to solve that or what's wrong with All-Star Saturday night?
Well, I don't know what's more interesting.
Yeah, the slam dunk contest.
It might be easier to figure out polar penis. Because All-Star Saturday night is...
Somehow I think you're liking this radio thing because you've said penis like 9 times in the last 3 minutes. Like all of a sudden we're 14 again.
Where's George Carlin? What can you say or not?
Well, you can say it the way we're saying it, not the way George would say it, because then we wouldn't make our 14th birthday party this Thursday out at the Rue Pub. And you know, if you listen to this show enough, the Rue Pub, my go-to spot, home away from home. No better place to watch a game or a fight or cross-country skiing than at the Rue Pub at 281 in Redland Road with those 3 massive 170-inch screens. Right, Eagle? I'm trying to work here. He's all around. He's reading his text messages. His friends must be blowing him up. Rue Pub, great food, great bar. You certainly know that. The food there made from scratch. They got the biggest and the best wings in town. About 15 different burgers on the menu. Great salads, great appetizers. And that kitchen is open late till 2 a.m. every day with the full menu available. Of course, they've got all the beers you want, full bar, great game room with the best arts area in town, indoor cornhole, happy hour weekdays from 11 to 6. Great for lunch, great for dinner, great for late at night, and certainly the best place to watch the game and where we are going to be all day Thursday. Jimenez with halftime starting at noon, the Blitz 4 to 7 as we celebrate our 14th birthday here at ESPN San Antonio. The Rue Pub next to the Angry Elephant, 281 in Redland Road. We'll see you at the Rue.
Halftime with Michael Jimenez.
We got callers coming in. Philip is on the line. You are coming at me saying the Cowboys should make a big move.
Dak Prescott is our version of Jared Goff. We trade Dak right now that he has some value for Russell Wilson, which would be our version of Stafford, and go all in to win this whole thing.
You called Dak Prescott the Cowboys version of Jared Goff.
Grab lunch with Michael Jimenez on halftime. Weekdays at noon. San Antonio Sports Star, ESPN 1250 and 103.3 FM.
Was the guy driving the company van next to you too busy taking the infamous car selfie for his dating app when he wrecked into you? He's still single, but now you're seriously hurt. If you or a loved one is hurt in a wreck with an 18-wheeler or company vehicle, don't call just any dude. Call the dude, the personal injury dude. Mark Poling at Poling Law PLLC at pidude.com. That's pidude.com. Or call 210-201-0303, 24 hours a day.
Yes, I'm so sorry about the wait, ma'am. I'll be with you shortly. Carrie, how many appointments did we book at 2:30?
Jin's physical therapy clinic is pretty stretched. He needs another PT before patients get bent out of shape.
You get fresh ice back from Miss Davis's knee.
Indeed can help him hire great people fast.
I need Indeed.
Indeed you do. Instant Match instantly connects you with quality candidates whose resumes on Indeed match your sponsored job description. Visit Indeed.com/credit and get $75 towards your first sponsored job. Terms and conditions apply.
My heart was racing just making spaghetti. I could have waited to tell my doctor, but I didn't wait.
I was short of breath just reading a book. I could have delayed telling my doctor, but I didn't wait.
They told their doctors and found out they have atrial fibrillation, a condition which makes it about 5 times more likely to have a stroke. If you have one or more of these symptoms, irregular heartbeat, heart racing, chest pain, shortness of breath, fatigue, or lightheadedness, this is no time to wait. Contact your doctor.
Brought to you by Bristol-Myers Squibb and Pfizer.
I had a nighttime routine for my frequent heartburn. I would drink milk, I would sleep upright with more pillows, but that painful burning stayed. So I made Prilosec OTC part of my morning routine. With just 1 pill in the morning, Prilosec OTC prevents excess acid production, blocking heartburn day and night. Now I have a new nighttime routine. I call it sleeping.
Block heartburn all day and all night with Prilosec OTC. It's possible while taking Prilosec OTC. Use as directed for 14 days to treat frequent heartburn, not for immediate relief.
Live, local, loud. KZDC, San Antonio Sports Star, ESPN, AM 1250 and 103.3 FM. Joe Reinagle, Jason Minix, The Blitz.
And we have the best listeners. It is The Blitz here on San Antonio Sports Star, ESPN AM 1250, 103.3 FM. He's Joe Reinagle. I'm Jason Minix. James Pledger producing as always. Somebody sent us a tweet. I tweeted it out. I won't describe the sock, but you know what we're talking about.
It's obviously a real thing, though. I mean, they didn't just make that up in the last 5 minutes.
No, I mean, it's the tweet says this will be all the rage at the 2026 Winter Olympics, #frozen penis.
Exactly. I mean, why is the guy not wearing that now? Is that going to slow him down?
Apparently. Although that looks like it'd be itchy. They got to come up with something better.
Well, it could be too big too, depending on who you're talking about.
Well, it is cold out there.
You might have to tie a knot in the end of it.
Good Lord. Thought you were trying to impress the ladies.
Well, I'm just saying. I don't know what things are like in Finland.
And my friend Lisa Gillespie wants to hear you say penis one more time.
Hey, we've got 2 hours to go. I'm sure I will.
Oh, she literally she texted that. I'm like, can you read that?
Oh, yeah. Wow.
You're gonna disappoint her, huh?
Well, it's got to be in context, doesn't it? Yeah.
Sure. You want to describe that sock?
It's gray. I'm impressed that it has the little sack there.
You got to keep them all warm.
Yeah, I guess so. Wow.
Because otherwise it'd just be a condom. I mean,
no, that'd be an itchy condom.
The whole thing looks itchy.
Yeah,
that won't be all the rage.
No, you'd need some of that liquid skin to even
warm skin. Pledge's diet. It's a good sweater. Pledge would wear it, whether he needed to or not. I mean, hell, Pledge went to the rodeo over the weekend, showed pictures of him at the rodeo in a suit and tie.
No. Did you really?
You were not wearing your tie? And
I was wearing a tie.
Okay, and a vest?
This is not a vest.
What was it?
It was a velvet blazer.
A velvet blazer.
Oh, the velvet. I've seen that one. I've seen that
a
one.
blazer and a tie, to me, is a suit. I realize, my fashion level isn't really up there. But
not a suit.
Okay, you're wearing a coat and tie to the rodeo.
I did.
And so the pants didn't match. So that makes it not a suit.
Exactly.
It's a suit.
Well, not necessarily, Jason.
All right,
it's a
TV guy.
sport coat and slacks. There's a difference.
See,
because I've learned a long time ago that it's less expensive to buy a couple, 2 or 3 sport coats and then just buy slacks that go with them, because it's not as expensive and you can mix and match. I can wear a black sport coat on a Monday and again on Wednesday and Friday, but just maybe a gray, tan, black. You know what I'm saying?
But it's still a suit.
No, it's not.
It really is.
It's a sport coat and a pair of slacks.
In my mind, that's a suit.
It's not a suit. Technically, it's not a suit.
Technically, it's not a suit.
We're trying to class you up a little bit.
Welcome to radio. I'm wearing a Foo Fighter t-shirt, right? And I dressed up today.
Yeah.
I'm just glad somebody's finally here that gets it.
Wait a minute.
I don't think he gets your fashion. Like I'm not sure what you've got going on today. You've got 4 different shirts on.
It's 2.
Okay, 2. Well, you got the coat. I thought the way the coat is, it looks like you're wearing 2 different coats, but that's 2 coats in one.
It's a singular coat.
So a 2-in-1 coat only counts as 1 in your world, but it looks like you're wearing 2 coats. And then you've got a vest on, and then you've got the open collar shirt. Were you wearing the tie earlier and have lost your tie throughout of course. So now you've just untied.
Dude, it's 85 degrees outside.
Yeah, but we were talking frozen penis, man, and he had to put on his coat.
Well, that won't help you. This sock, on the other hand, will. I can't take my eyes off of it. That's the problem. I mean, it's sitting here. I'm waiting for my Twitter mentions to go.
Well,
it's like, please.
You can control that.
I can.
You use your hand, hit refresh.
Whew. Okay.
All right. So we go from this to Desean Watson. And there's some news today. Desean Watson did have a special hearing set for today, and the issues that he's going through. Watson is seeking to delay depositions with all plaintiffs not yet interviewed. Now, I saw Aaron Wilson tweet earlier today that Busby was talking and 75 hours worth of interviews. And all I'm thinking is that's a lawyer making a ton of money. But 75 hours of interviews have been done, but they still have 6 to go.
Okay.
I don't know why they're trying to get a delay now, but I think if he can reach a settlement before they have to speak to the peoples, then any criminal part goes away. Right?
So maybe that's what they're trying to do, work out a settlement.
That's what it sounds like, because we had heard previous that they were down to 4 and trying to reach a settlement.
Right.
But you've got a lawyer that represents all of them, and I think he's trying to get equal money for all of them. And I think the ones that have the most on Desean Watson are probably trying to get a little bit more.
Well, of course they are. And how much more? And what is the limit? If you're Desean Watson, though, you want this to go away, obviously, because you want to resume playing football. I mean, the guy's been out of football now for a year. I'm sure looking at the prospect of being out another year, it's just horrible for this guy. I don't know. And these lawyer tricks and these kind of things are just baffling to me. And I know that everybody's trying to get the best for their client, but get on with it already, right?
At some point, you would think that this is where it's going to end, and whatever that number is. And, I would like to think that Busby has put out a number. Rusty Hardin has said, nope, we're not going there yet. And I think a lot of it is what they're finding out in discovery. Does Deshaun's attorneys feel like if this went criminal, would there be a conviction there? Is there enough there?
Right.
And, but seeing this today, and I don't know what to make of this, to be honest, but if you're trying to get a delay, in legal terms, a delay is normally a win. But at the same time, when you're looking at the NFL clock, do things start to change a little bit for Desean Watson if it's not quite done yet? Because the Texans have to make a decision. Teams have to make a decision. Mm-hmm. And so will a team now make a decision even though it's not all resolved?
Well, if you are a good attorney, which Rusty Hardin is, I mean, obviously he's high price. He wants to know what these other 6 are going to say.
Mm-hmm.
You don't want to go into a trial or something like that without knowing what they're going to say and at least having an opportunity to question them. So he's being cautious with his client, obviously, and he wants to make sure that they're interviewed before they move along any further. But again, if you're Desean, you're going to Rusty and say, hey, and of course it's one of those things that we talk about and we don't know what's going on behind the scenes or what conversations are being had or offers that are being made. So interesting, but I'm ready for this. It's kind of like COVID, Desean Watson. Can we just get on with it?
Well,
and move on. I mean, it's been a long time.
The judge did rule today, according to Aaron Wilson, who's was with the Chronicle and is now with Pro Football Network. Aaron tweets that the judge ruled that plaintiffs who haven't been deposed and have filed criminal complaints are delayed until after April 1, when Rusty Hardin expressed expectation of criminal investigation clarity. So maybe that's what it's about, is kind of let's figure out what's happening on this side before we figure out the settlement side.
Yeah, that could very well be.
Is what it sounds like. And of course, Desean Watson's name in the news quite a bit over the weekend. Where have I been saying he's a great landing spot for him? I've been saying Pittsburgh for a long time.
Yeah.
Long time.
He was associated with Pittsburgh over the weekend because Mike Tomlin hired Brian Flores as an assistant coach.
Right.
And obviously, just because Brian Flores got hired there doesn't mean Desean Watson will end up there. But that is another dot to connect if the connection was more with Desean and Brian Flores than it was Desean and wanting to live in the city of Miami.
Could be, but I also heard over the weekend a rumor that the Washington Commanders could be willing to part with Chase Young if they got Desean Watson in return.
See,
I'm just saying.
I've heard rumors, but that doesn't make any good kind of football sense.
Of course it does. You wouldn't make that trade today? I would. A quarterback, look, Chase Young is a great player.
He is.
But you can find another edge rusher. Maybe not as good as him.
Yeah.
But you can. And then you've got your franchise quarterback. I make that deal in a heartbeat.
But I also look at the Texans that they want picks.
You don't want him to go play for Washington.
I don't want him to play for Washington, but I look at that and You've got a star defensive player, so let's weaken our defense to try to make our offense better. I've just watched the Cowboys try for so long to have nothing but offensive stars and not do anything on defense, and that doesn't get you anywhere.
Well, I'll be honest with you. Everybody thought Washington was going to have this great defense this year, and they really kind of sucked.
Yeah, they did.
I mean, they weren't that great. So while he's a great player and he can't do it by himself, I mean, if I'm looking at this and I've got an opportunity to get a franchise quarterback at a guy that's only 27 years old, I'm making that deal.
Well, and again, you've got to have a quarterback.
You have to.
You have to have a quarterback, no matter what it ultimately ends up costing you. But by all accounts from Houston's side, I don't think they want players, especially a player like Chase Young isn't going to stay in Houston beyond his contract because they're not going to be rebuilt fast enough. And he's getting to the point where, he wants to go play for somebody that's going to win. There's questions whether he stays in Washington beyond his current deal because that is such a dumpster fire that why give up a Desean Watson for a short-term rental player?
Well, and it could be, it's not a 1-for-1. It could be part of a whole bunch of things going on. But what I'm saying is I think Washington is willing to make a deal. If Chase Young is available, they would be willing to deal him if the ultimate return was Desean Watson for them.
It's going to be interesting to see how it all plays out. And, of course, we'll keep you updated here on the Blitz. You want to participate in the show? It's easy to do on the Kia Bossa Bacon phone lines, 210-656-ESPN, 656-3776. Dial them now, in fact, if you enjoyed All-Star Saturday Night. Nah, that's a bad thing because
nobody's going to call.
Yeah, they're going to stay. What is your fix? Everybody is bitching about All-Star Saturday Night and specifically the slam dunk contest, as if the three-point contest has become the marquee event, not the slam dunk contest. When I look at that, if you're going to bitch, give a solution. Right? I don't know how you fix the slam dunk contest if you don't make the stars participate. We saw better dunks during the game last night than during the slam dunk contest. Make the stars that are already there do it. Now, they don't want to do it because of embarrassment. They don't want to do it because there's not enough money involved, whatever the case is. But back in the day, you had these stars participating in these particular contests.
You did.
That's always been my solution to it. Make the stars do it. That's not going to happen. Stephen A. Smith, I thought, had a brilliant idea this morning on First Take, and I will give him full credit for this. And if he got it from somebody else, I apologize. But his idea this morning on TV on how to fix the slam dunk contest is take the NBA players out of it.
Okay.
Just take them out of it. Have regional contests leading up to the All-Star weekend with just your guys that are just on some courts, your Rucker Park guys, your guys in California, your Midwest, wherever you are.
Right.
Just have some regional competitions of just non-NBA types, just guys that can hoop, guys that can dunk, and let them win their area, their region contest, and then put those winners on display on All-Star Saturday night. You won't know who any of them are, but you'll be entertained.
Well, and they're probably going to do some stuff that they're not afraid of getting hurt, right? Because at the end of you're doing some of this stuff. You don't want to twist an ankle or something that's going to affect you in the second half of the season. But the dunk contest was probably old 10, 15 years ago.
It was.
Because after a while, what else can you do? Right? I mean, you can't jump over cars or jump over three people or whatever the case may be. And after a while, it just kind of loses its luster. Dunks are great during games, but during that kind of an exhibition, it's over. Look, the 3-point shooting contest is old. That whole Saturday night thing is just old.
Or do something like when it comes to it doesn't matter if it's the Pro Bowl, Major League Baseball, the home run derby contest is, everybody's trying to fix it and tweak it. The NHL and the way they did their skills competition this year is pretty badass.
That was fun. Yeah.
I mean, they had guys floating in the fountains at Bellagio trying to do stuff, right? Take them out of their norm. I don't know what you do on All-Star Saturday night. Everything there is sponsored. There's a lot of money involved.
Yeah.
And quite frankly, more people watch than you think.
I guess. I haven't seen the ratings. Have you heard anything about the
I
ratings?
haven't heard what they did Saturday night, but typically speaking, it's the numbers are up. The numbers always seem, it's not like, well, nobody watched, so we better fix things. Because if that were the case, they would have fixed it. They would have addressed it. It's just one of those things that following a weekend for All-Star games that we all bitch about what we saw because it's not real football. Like they didn't tackle this year.
Right.
Baseball. It's just basketball. It's not fun until the fourth quarter. Fourth quarter last night was a lot of fun during that All-Star game because guys are playing because there's money on the line.
Well, at least the baseball All-Star game means something, right? It means home field advantage.
Yeah. And nobody likes that.
Well, nobody likes that, but at least it means something. I mean, make it mean something. If you're going to have these things, make it mean something. It's like, okay, so-and-so won the dunk contest. Big deal.
Well,
what
again,
does it get you?
Well, I mean, a nice sponsored trophy.
Okay.
But in reality, who won last year's dunk contest?
I don't know.
Who won this year's dunk contest?
I don't know.
Who? I mean, that's the thing. It's not like in the day where, Dominique won or Michael Jordan or hell, Brent Barry. Brent Barry won the one here in San Antonio and now uses his trophy is like a serving bowl, like full of guacamole or hot sauce or chips or something if he's having a party.
Yeah.
Right. He literally turned the trophy into something like that, which is, I think, pretty badass.
Well, that's just Brent Barry.
Yeah,
right?
it is Brent Barry,
he's
right?
that kind of guy.
But it does come down to what can you do as a league, as an event, to infuse some excitement, I want to watch this. I got home Saturday from my Friday night was fantastic, but way long. Saturday morning, got up, went to my mother's house, got back home 6:30, 7 o'clock. Started watching it and said, I'm almost done with Inventing Anna on Netflix, which, by the way, is worthy. That's worthy.
Yeah.
I was watching that as opposed to the All-Star Dunk contest because I don't give a damn anymore.
Well, I don't either. And I said this on Friday, Jason, with Michael Jimenez. I don't really care about the whole thing. Because the only reason I had interest in even the All-Star game last night was because of Dejounte Murray. Otherwise, it's like I've seen it all. You see these guys play and they're all fantastic. They're talented. It's great. But you know what you're going to get when you watch this. There's no defense, obviously.
Sure.
Right? There's the dunks, there's this. And after a while, even the most special dunk is like, I've seen it. It's been done. And I'm just, it doesn't interest me. And I'm not sure that of all the things that I used to go to in TV and back when San Antonio had some All-Stars and we'd go to the All-Star games, it's like, that was my least favorite event to go to.
All-Star Saturday night or All-Star weekend in general?
The whole thing.
The parties are good.
Yes, they are.
All-Star Saturday night in person sucks.
Yeah.
It sucks. I mean, it's just such a long day. Nothing worse than the home run derby. That might be the worst event to watch in person.
It could
because
be, yeah.
There's so much time in between a guy at bat. And generally you're in a stadium where it's really stupid hot. So, I mean, that's but again, we bitch, but how do we fix it? Or at some point do you go away? I enjoyed watching most of the game last night, although there were some things that, I was cooking a steak and cooking dinner. I cared about the All-Star game. I wanted to watch early to see when Dejounte got in.
Sure.
It's same thing. I was but fourth quarter, I'm paying attention to because it's going to get good then when the intensity gets ratcheted up some. And that was a good fourth quarter.
I'll take your word for it.
You didn't watch it?
I didn't actually.
It's all right.
I actually had a documentary.
I set you up
that we were watching last night on Pink,
the singer.
The singer, yeah, it was quite interesting.
So you chose Pink.
I did.
The singer.
Now I watched the highlights of Dejounte Murray, so I know what I was talking about.
Sure.
And he was great, and I'm happy for him.
Now, for the record, did you choose Pink?
No,
no,
I did not.
But you didn't argue, like, honey, we got to watch the All-Star game.
No, I didn't argue. It was a great day. You know why? What there are some things you draw the line for, and some you don't.
Mm-hmm.
Now the NFL, Maggie's great. I said, baby, I got to watch this game. Okay, let's watch. NBA All-Star game.
I'm with you.
I mean, it's just not. It's not worth it.
Inventing Anna.
Yeah, the Pink documentary is actually pretty good.
I doubt I'll get to it.
Well,
but,
you should.
You
should watch it.
I've been watching.
Not a Pink fan?
Now that football season is over, I'm sure actually I'd probably enjoy it just because musicians and everything they're going
behind
through.
the scenes
I
stuff.
love
man,
that
it's
stuff.
Good. Yeah.
Regardless, although, I did not enjoy or even finish that one on the Beatles.
I haven't started that one.
I got through about 30 minutes and turned it off.
Yeah.
I did not enjoy it. And I thought I would. I was looking forward to the one on the Beatles and just did not get into it.
You see, that's what happens. That happened to me in Vegas. Paul McCartney, free tickets, left after 30 minutes.
Really?
It sucked.
Wow.
It was horrible.
Wow.
I wanted to hear Beatles music. Even, what was the band that he was in after that? Band on the Run. He sang that song. I didn't even hear that. Okay? I didn't even hear that. And it was a bunch of butterflies running around and with these people, and I'm like,
things are legal in Vegas. What were you on?
The hell? No, it was bad. So we left.
Fair enough.
I said, I'm leaving.
All right. Because gambling was calling your name.
Well, that and the show just sucked. It was horrible.
That's awful.
It was awful.
Because Paul McCartney's
I was
a legend.
excited.
Yeah.
I was excited about it.
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah, that's how it is. It is the Blitz here on San Antonio Sports Star, ESPN AM 1250, 103.3 FM. Well, interesting weekend in college basketball. There's no football on, basketball front and center, and this is not the way Michigan wanted to make all the headlines. We'll get into that as we continue here on the Blitz. This weekend and even this morning, I had for breakfast the Kielbasa Smoked Meats Maple Breakfast Links. They're available at HEB. If you haven't tried them yet, you're missing out. These breakfast links are a little sweet, little savory, totally delicious. A perfect part of a nice weekend breakfast spread, or if you get a busy weekday morning, they come fully cooked. So all you have to do is heat them up, and you are ready to go. I cheat. I microwave 45 seconds, man, and they are fantastic. Find those Kielbasa Maple Breakfast Links at select HEB stores. Go get yourself some Kielbasa today.
Should Juwan Howard be fired? We're going to talk about that after a Sports Center update with James Pledger.
Thanks a lot, Joe. We'll start in college hoops, where over the weekend, the new AP Top 25 was released, and the Texas Tech Red Raiders have moved up to 9th today after their 61-55 win over the Texas Longhorns, and Austin over the weekend, who actually remain at 20th this week in the poll. Baylor is ranked 10th, and the Houston Cougars come in at 4th in this week's AP. In the NFL, Sports Illustrated's Mike Fisher is reporting that the Cowboys are expected to prioritize re-signing wide receiver Michael Gallup this offseason, who is going into free agency. Gallup, who had ACL surgery earlier this month, is targeting an August return to the field. I'm James Pledger for San Antonio Sports Star, ESPN AM 1250 and 103.3 FM.
Injuries happen, so if you twist, pull, pop, or snap something, you need Dr. David Espinosa at TSAOG Orthopedics. Dr. Espinosa treats all non-surgical orthopedic injuries and has same-day and next-day availability. Telemedicine services are also available. There is no reason to be in pain. If you are hurting, visit Dr. David Espinosa at TSAOG Orthopedics. Learn more at TSAOG.com. That's TSAOG.com, or schedule your appointment by calling 210-804-5490.
Exergen would like you to know about an important study just released by the FDA. It confirms what the medical community has known all along. Non-contact thermometers are not accurate. The study also reports that they fail to meet FDA requirements for accuracy in labeling. We can't afford to tolerate the rampant false temperature readings from non-contact thermometers. Accurate temperature measurements are essential. You need Exergen thermometers because they are accurate and backed by over 100 clinical studies. Be sure, be accurate with Exergen. Learn more at Exergen.com.
Water stains on the shower glass. Try rubbing some shaving cream on them.
Tyler's cleaning crew knows every housekeeping trick in the book.
Handling timesheets now.
But they need a proper bookkeeper to keep finances tidy.
New equipment is a business expense, right?
Indeed can help them hire great people fast.
I need Indeed.
Indeed you do. Instant Match instantly connects you with quality candidates whose resumes on Indeed match your sponsored job description. Visit Indeed.com/credit and get $75 towards your first sponsored job. Terms and conditions apply.
Guys, stop what you're doing. Give me a few seconds of your time and let me give you a piece of advice that will change your love life forever. Have you noticed you've been losing a little pep in your step? Has your lady friend asked you, is everything okay? Do you find yourself having trouble rising for the occasion? Do you stress out before that special moment and wonder, is it gonna work? Guys, I'm going to let you in on a big secret. You don't ever have to worry again. The Mojo Male Enhancement Formula has you covered. Mojo is the 100% guaranteed male enhancement formula that guarantees lasting success, if you know what I mean. The Mojo Male Enhancement Formula is safe, natural, and effective every single time, guaranteed. Mojo is available in a fast-acting spray and a quick-action capsule. Do yourself and her a favor and call Pure Line Nutrition in San Antonio today. They'll get you set up for success. Call 210-494-2210. That number again is 210-494-2210. Mojo Male Enhancement, only available at Pure Line Nutrition.
My name is Jason Thompson. I've lived in San Antonio for 50 years. I went to school here. I graduated from law school here. San Antonians have trusted me as their attorney after a serious injury or a fatality collision for more than 27 years. If you're in your car right now, chances are you're seeing an attorney billboard, and you'll probably see 3 or more of those on your commute today. How do you decide who to call? Who to trust? I want you to call me, Jason Thompson. I'm experienced. I have a long track record of success, and I run my firm like my father did for over 50 years of practicing law here. I believe that a personal, trusting relationship with my client matters. With my firm, I meet with you. I answer your questions. I handle your case. For many lawyers you see on the billboard, your case will not be handled by the attorney on that billboard. If you call me, Jason Thompson, I will be the lawyer you speak with. If you or your family needs an experienced attorney, an attorney you can trust, an attorney that will personally handle all of the issues after a serious injury or fatality, I want you to call me, Jason Thompson, 900-0400, 210, 900-0400, or my website, alawyer4us.com.
1911 Cigars is the premier cigar lounge in South Texas, providing quality, affordable cigars in a professional, inviting environment with a large covered patio with TVs. A BYOB establishment, 1911 Cigars strives to allow the avid cigar connoisseur a comfortable place to relax, socialize, network, and of course, enjoy a great cigar. 1911 Cigars is available for private events and has private cabanas with TVs, fire pits, and heaters. 1911 Cigars at 207 South Main Street in Cibolo. Online at 1911cigars.com.
This is The Blitz with Joe Reinagle and Jason Minix. San Antonio Sports Star, ESPN 1250 and 103.3 FM.
And we've got a dust-up right now. Juwan Howard and Greg Gardner going nose to nose, and now we got a problem. We got pushing and shoving. We got a lot of chirping. We got a wrestling match going on. And Jacoby Neath being pulled away by Carter Higginbottom. Adam Smith, graduate assistant for the Wisconsin Badgers, pushing off a couple of players.
Yeah, there were some punches in there.
As it got nasty there in the end. And everybody being separated, you got to be really careful here. Tyler Wall getting guys away. You got to be careful here. Richard, big fella, getting out there. He's telling his guys, get off the floor.
Yeah, but a little too late. Matt LaPlay with the call from Learfield as things got ugly at the end of the Michigan-Wisconsin game. He's Joe Reinagle. I'm Jason Minix. It is The Blitz. Dan Wetzel from Yahoo is tweeting as we speak, Michigan will suspend Juwan Howard the rest of the regular season, a source tells Yahoo Sports.
Regular season.
That's where I underlined it. That makes it a 5-game suspension. They have 5 games left. Doesn't say tournament. It doesn't say Big Ten tournament. Doesn't say NCAA tournament if Michigan wins. And you know, they're on that first 4, last 4 kind of list right now. Big Ten still has to make an announcement, and they haven't done that yet. But as it sits right now, you're looking at a 5-game suspension for Juwan Howard for that altercation, started a damn near brawl. And you're a coach. You're a leader of men, and you punched another coach.
Yeah, I think everything before that was okay, although I think Juwan Howard's argument was not good because according to what the Wisconsin coach said, he was just trying to get his bench players some good run time. They only had a few seconds left anyway, but so I understand the passion and the emotion that goes into some of these things, and maybe Juwan Howard's feeling some heat from the folks at Michigan, and again, it was a loss to Wisconsin at Wisconsin's place, and it just turned into a nasty thing, especially when he starts throwing punches. That really is a no-no for anybody.
Well, you can't do it, and again, the Big Ten, it's President's Day, so I don't know if all the suits took the day off. But they've got a lot to review because you in the press conferences afterwards, you had some he said, she said, or he said, on what instigated, what escalated the fight, and what upset Juwan Howard, who is very much in the wrong. He threw a punch.
Yep.
Or open-handed slap. But then you had other players, both teams, start fighting and throwing punches. So the Big Ten has to look at all those individual players who threw punches. And there's those players are going to face suspensions. Watching ESPN this morning, all those college basketball experts were talking about at least 2 games for each of those guys.
Yeah. I mean, something has to be done because that can't happen. I mean, it just can't happen. You've got to draw the line somewhere, and you've got to, especially as a head coach, you've got to take control of your emotions. You have to. And basketball coaches are probably the most emotional of all the head coaches. But at some point in time, look, you got to control your emotions, and they simply got out of hand for Juwan Howard.
Well, they did, and he said after the game, what upset him?
I didn't like the timeout being called, and I'll be totally honest with you. I thought it was, not necessary at that moment, especially being a large lead, and then for to have the timeout be called with 3 seconds, 4 seconds to go. I thought that was, what I felt wasn't fair to our guys. And so that's what happened.
So he was upset because he didn't like the way the other coach was coaching his team, yet he's running a full court press defensively. And when you hear Greg Gard, the coach of Wisconsin, kind of explain what happened in the line and why, I mean, he's doing what he can to coach his team with a bunch of players on the floor, and he was trying to talk, according to Greg Gard, to Juwan about why he called a timeout there.
Yeah, as I was walking through it, I know he didn't come through right away. He came in later after some of the players and was going down the line with everybody. They were all fine. And he came up to me and pulled his max down and said, "I'll remember that." He started pointing at me and tapped me in the chest. And I said, "Hold on. Let me explain to you why I took the timeout. Maybe he doesn't know the rule that you get the 10 seconds reset. I wasn't going to put my players in that type of situation to have to break a press in 4 seconds, come it's difficult off the bench. I wouldn't do that for a regular group. I can take a timeout. That's it gives my players the best chance to have success." So that's where it started, that he said, "I'll remember that. And I said, "Hey, let me tell you why I did what I did." And he didn't want any part of it.
And Greg Gard, I know it's after the fact, but saying, well, dude, maybe you don't know the rules. You're talking about an NBA guy who's also a head coach publicly saying, you don't know the rules. Every coach will say, you coach your team, I'll coach mine.
Right.
It kind of felt like Juwan was just going to do the walk by and the handshake line. And Gard didn't like that. Hey. Yeah. But hearing Juwan talk about it, it's like he's putting Gard at escalating it. But when you watch the video, it looks like Juwan was already escalated and kept escalating it.
Well, Juwan was upset. I mean, obviously he was upset. He thinks that the other team is disrespecting his team. But, there's so many answers for that. I mean, there really are so many answers for that. You've got your bench players on the floor. And I've never understood why people expect a coach to say and tell his second team out there that don't try as hard because we've already got a big lead. I've never understood that. Those kids want to play too, and they don't want to come in and play halfway. I mean, they don't want to do it. And so I've never understood the fact that if a team is way ahead, you ask your players to back off and not play as hard as you can. That's not fair to those guys who have worked just as hard.
They practice.
It's exactly right. So they get an opportunity to come in and play. They need to play, and they need to play as hard as they can.
I don't know what's more disrespectful, and I don't know how to couch it in basketball terms, but in football, I remember Larry Hill, the head coach at Smithson Valley one time, he was taking a lot of heat. They were blowing some teams out. His second and third stringers would score. And he would say, dude, we're running base. We're not throwing. We're running. Those guys practice. If they score, they score. What's more disrespectful? Us to just go take 3 knees and punt?
Yeah.
Right? It's not like he had his starters in this situation. Jawan's mad that they were getting blown out is what it boils down to. You're running a full court press, although he said we weren't running a full court press. I don't know. What I saw looked like pressure defense to me, right? Don't get mad that they called the timeout. Kid lost a shoe, all that. None of that matters. What happened in that handshake line, you're the head coach. That can't happen. It cannot. The questions today, would he get fired? Well, clearly, if he's only getting a 5-game suspension from the university through the rest of the regular season, kind of a slap on the wrist.
It kind of is. Look, I'm not a proponent of him being fired.
Me neither.
I don't think he should be fired, but I think a message needs to be sent. Look, if Juwan Howard says, look, I'm not going to forget this, don't forget it. And then the next time you have an opportunity, maybe you do the same thing. I don't know. But again, I don't question the Wisconsin coach's use of the time out there to get his players some extra time to work on their game and beat a full court press or whatever defense Michigan was running at the time. So none of that there shouldn't have been an issue, because I bet you Juwan Howard would have done the same thing had the situation been on the other foot.
Who knows? And quite honestly, I don't want to say it doesn't matter, but it at that point in the game, it didn't matter. I mean, I think Juwan Howard, if you wanted them to just get the ball across midcourt and let them dribble it out, don't have your guys pressuring them.
Let them do it.
Your guy was pressuring them, tipped the ball, and it rolled out of bounds. You call the timeout there, so you get 10 seconds.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, simple basketball. And he knew that. I think he was just mad at a lot of things. And the fact is, they're a bubble team right now. And that was a bad loss for a team trying to build their resume for the NCAA tournament. That was a bad loss. All this other stuff, you can tell me that all you want. Maybe that's some truth in there, what set you off. But you were mad that your team got blown out.
Absolutely, as any coach would be. And you remember it. If you're mad at that coach, remember that. But the minute he throws a punch, all bets are off. That's it. I mean, that's the line you can't cross. Period. End of discussion. Then your players feel like they have a free for all to go start fighting with each other, and that's where you just can't have. You can't lose your cool like that. Enough. You want to yell at the guy. You want to call him an idiot. You want to say you shouldn't have done it. I'm never going to forget it. All of that. Okay, no problem.
And the reality is, should Gard have called a timeout? Probably not. But if he was trying to get his guys in a situation to get the ball across, then maybe. But he has every right to do that. He's got timeout.
Absolutely. Right? He can do it. Why not?
But his role in the handshake line was probably the same as Howard's. He was trying to explain whatever. You could tell the man's upset. Just keep walking and go talk to him later. 20 minutes later. Yeah. Call him the next day if you need to.
I got you.
I'm with you there. Does he need to get fired? No. Suspended? Yes. 5 games? That seems a little bit light when you're the head coach and a leader of young men throwing a punch like that.
Yeah, that's difficult to explain. And I would like to see Juwan Howard come out and apologize. Honestly, just say, look, I lost my cool, something I shouldn't have done. I should have never done that. And it won't happen again. And I hope we see that at some point in time here in the near future.
Let's go to the Kia Bossa Bacon phone lines. Chris, you're on the Blitz. What's up, man?
Hey, Jason. Hey, I just wanted to say, as a sophomore player on the Holmes High School team, we were playing the Keystone team, and we had a rather large lead. Now, this is a very smart group of players, you could guess, being from Keystone. And I get my chance to get some playing time. My coach says, you play like we're 4 points down, because you'll never get to JV. You'll never get to varsity unless you show us you can play. And I always took that to heart. and thought that was a valid point. Now that doesn't go against Juwan's actions, but it does go against do you lighten up play when you're ahead.
And you're saying they shouldn't have, right? Your point is, if I'm hearing you correctly, those players need to play, and you can't tell them to not play.
Yeah, you got to play. This is your chance to play. I mean, this is a rare chance for us on the bench to get a chance to play. So he said, go in like you're 4 points down. Give it all you got. And I thought it made sense to me at the time.
I totally agree with it.
It makes sense, Chris. I mean, the Wisconsin kids are playing hard. That's what they're supposed to do. To me, this is all coaches, both. And the debate this morning on the TV shows were, do we just need to do away with the handshake line?
No.
And I'm thinking there have been some incidents recently, but no, that's part of it. Learning how to lose is a big part of sports.
Huge part of it. And it shows sportsmanship. Why would you want to do away with a handshake line?
So you don't have situations like this, which I think is dumb.
Then you could write a list of things we ought to do away with to avoid conflict. I mean, that's just the most ridiculous thing I've ever heard. And who said that? Call him out. Do you remember?
Who's the coach on we've had him on before.
I don't mean to put you on the spot.
No, I'm trying to remember. He was on the sports centers at noon.
Seth Greenberg?
Seth Greenberg.
Well, it's ridiculous to Seth Greenberg to even suggest that, because
I was going to say Goldberg, and I knew that was wrong.
It's still all about sportsmanship and appreciating the other team and learning how to lose with dignity. Yeah, that's all part of it. It's all part of it. And so the coaches there were the ones who acted badly in both of their own ways. But again,
and to a degree, the players starting the fight. I mean, some were trying to play peacemaker.
Yep.
Others were starting to fight. The idea that some of those players are going to get suspended. Again, Juwan Howard does not need to be fired for this.
Nope.
But 5 games seems a little light. I was thinking, we'll see you next basketball season, Coach.
Arguing this look, that's one thing. All right. And whatever you want to say, but once you throw that punch, all bets are off. I don't care what else happened. You throw a punch, all bets are off, and you need to be dealt with at that point in time.
Wonder what the Big Ten ultimately does.
I don't know.
I wonder if Michigan went first, or if Michigan announced this suspension. Yeah, there he is on TV. Yeah.
Seth Greenberg, yeah.
Juwan Howard suspended rest of regular season, which is 5 games. That by that definition, regular season, he's available for the Big Ten tournament, and if they are able to make the NCAA tournament, would be able to coach, unless, of course, the Big Ten hands down a stiffer punishment, or even the NCAA.
Well, you've got the Big Ten tournament coming up, so apparently he's going to be eligible for that.
Unless the Big Ten
they say something,
they come up with a stiffer punishment. It is the Blitz here on San Antonio Sports Star, ESPN AM 1250, 103.3 FM. If you've struggled with dental problems, you need to know about Dr. Mark Havercorn over at River City Oral Surgery. Dr. Havercorn is a medical doctor. He's an oral surgeon, and he offers direct patient care. That means you don't need a referral. You just call and make an appointment. You need a tooth pulled. You need your wisdom teeth out. You need dental implants. He's going to get you taken care of. And direct patient care means no insurance. He won't take your insurance. He doesn't want your insurance. If you have dental insurance, chances are he's going to be less expensive, and his team will help you file a claim. Maybe you get some money back. It's a cash business, and you can put it on your credit card. You can write a check. He does offer financing available, but you can stop spending lots of money and time at a dentist every few years only to have that work fail. Maybe you need dental implants. No better place than River City Oral Surgery and Dr. Mark Havercorn. All his prices, they're listed right on the website. You know exactly what it's going to cost you before you walk in the door. The website, rivercityoms.com. rivercityoms.com. The phone number, 210-778-0002. 778-0002 for River City Oral Surgery.
And now, a man's thoughts on San Antonio Sports Star. What were you thinking?
That escalated quickly.
This is San Antonio Sports Star, ESPN 1250 and 103.3 FM.
The San Antonio Home and Garden Show is coming up February 25th through the 27th, and the Window Source of San Antonio would love to see you there. We'll be there hoping homeowners just like you get quality windows at the price you deserve. Come by our booth and mention ESPN, and we'll knock off an additional 5%. Isn't it time you let them old windows go? Call the Window Source of San Antonio right now, 210-880-3021. That's 210-880-3021. Come visit our showroom at 6800 Fairgrounds Parkway, or visit us at windowsourceofsa.com.
Running a small business means just that, always running.
Woo, you're not kidding.
Which is why this holiday, while the other guys, not mentioning any names, are kicking it back, we'll be kicking it into gear by leaving our doors open for you. So whatever the ing you need this holiday, whether it's packing, shipping, or mailboxing, we'll be right here waiting.
Now that's an ing worth celebrating.
The UPS Store, every ing for small business, all in one place.
The UPS Store.
The UPS Store locations are independently owned. Product, services, pricing, and hours may vary. See Center for details.
Tonight isn't just epic, it's extreme.
That's right. The premiere of AGT Extreme with the biggest, most exciting acts you've ever seen.
Like people swimming less than 30 minutes after they eat. Extreme.
More like huge jaw-dropping acts. No special effects, no stuntmen, 100% extreme.
Like full contact knitting. Extreme.
Not exactly. This one's hosted by Terry Crews with judges Travis Pastrana, Nikki Bella, and Simon Cowell.
Ooh.
AGT Extreme premieres tonight on NBC.
Or a bunch of puppies.
Oh.
Extremely cute.
I give up.
Exergen would like you to know about an important new study by the FDA. It confirms what the medical community has always known. Non-contact thermometers are not accurate, and they fail to meet FDA requirements for accuracy in labeling. With new strains of COVID on the rise, we can't afford to tolerate rampant false temperature readings from non-contact thermometers. Accurate temperature measurements are essential. You need Exergen thermometers because they are accurate and backed by over 100 clinical studies. Be sure, be accurate with Exergen. Learn more at Exergen.com.
Dave Ramsey here. The only water softener I recommend is a quality water softener from Connecticut. It really is the last water softener you'll ever own.
ConnecticutSA.com.
And tell them Dave Ramsey sent you.
Listen to this station anytime, anywhere on Odyssey. Odyssey is your new audio home for all the music, news, sports, and podcasts that matter to you. Odyssey. That's AUDACY.
Not all pizza places are the same. Mellow Mushroom originated hand-tossed, stone-baked, classic Southern pizza. Not in the mood for pizza? Order a calzone, hoagie, sandwich, burger, or a mellow salad and see how care goes into every item on the menu. Take your pick from 24 draft beers and or handcrafted cocktails. And many of the pizzas can be made gluten-free or vegan. Mellow Mushroom is at 1604 in Stone Oak Parkway. Hang with friends, watch the game, and mellow out at Mellow Mushroom.
Hi, this is Joe Reinagle. San Antonio Sports Star Drive to End Hunger is going on now through March 25th. Just go to sasportstar.com to give what you can or just find drop-off locations. It's all presented by the Institute for Functional Health, Rambler Sparkling Water, Copenhagen Imports, and Airtron.
Hey guys, it's Rudy J. Let's talk the biggest stories in sports tomorrow morning, 7 till 10 on San Antonio Sports Star, ESPN 1250 and 103.3 FM.
And you know what the boys won't be talking about tomorrow morning on R&R? A labor deal in Major League Baseball. It is the Blitz here on San Antonio Sports Star, ESPN AM 1250, 103.3 FM. He's Joe Reinagle. I'm Jason Minix. There was some hope, I think, maybe.
I think so.
That they might get a deal today. But
Yeah.
Jeff Passan just tweets out 3 minutes ago, the MLBPA is expected to counter tomorrow to MLB's offer today, which included small moves on pre-arbitration bonus pool from $15 million to $20 million, draft lottery from 3 picks to 4. They're going to be back negotiating tomorrow at 1. Passan tweets, plenty of time remains for a deal before February 28th.
Well, I think both sides are smart enough to see that baseball is kind of on life support at the moment, honestly, and they've got to get something done. And so hopefully you've got a bunch of intelligent folks all in there making a deal, trying to work this thing out. But I mean, if you go into a extended lockout where we're not playing ball and nobody's talking about it, you've got the XFL, the USFL coming up, baseball's done. And that's sad for me to say.
It is, although, quite frankly, as fans, we get screwed in these kind of deals, right?
Yeah.
And, you know, it's kind of like when, I'm a DirecTV guy. If DirecTV guy is having a pissing match with the CBS affiliate,
right,
and they pull Ken's off the air, or I think Rob is still dealing with no Bally on Dish Network. That's been going on for a couple of years now.
Wow.
As customers, we get screwed. And then when you get it figured out, we forget. We kind of come back and we forget. And so there's a delay in spring training right now. If the regular season starts on time or close to on time, we're fine, because none of this affects us unless you start taking away games, right? And at this point, that's what it comes down to. Now the people in Florida and in Arizona that rely on spring training for their annual business, they're hurting right now.
Yes, they are.
But for most of us, it doesn't matter yet because we haven't lost a game yet.
But we should be talking about pitchers and catchers. We should be talking about teams, what's happening in spring training. And we're not talking about that. Instead, we're talking about two sides arguing over millions of dollars that, quite frankly, most of us don't have and don't know what to do. And I think it takes an effect, though, Jason. I really do. And I think people finally say, well, the hell with those guys. And until baseball's a lot like the NBA in the fact that I think the season is too long. I think the season is too long. I think the NBA should start on Christmas Day and move forward. I think it'd be a lot more exciting, because who really gives a damn about the NBA in October and November? I don't know many people that do.
No,
because the NFL is going on.
Well, and the NBA tells us Christmas Day is when it matters.
That's exactly right. So, well, you start the season there. I think, man, you've got something, right? You don't have all these back-to-back games, and then every game means something. Well, I think baseball's the same way. Nobody really gives a damn about baseball until after the All-Star break. And then you start following the pennant race, unless you're a diehard.
Well, I think opening day and opening weekend is special. And then you can put it on the back burner.
Sure.
Memorial Day weekend, maybe.
All right.
Somewhere around mid-July. If your team is in it, you're in it.
Yeah.
If not, and baseball is one of those sports that you kind of feel like in May if you've got a chance. And, especially for the casual fans in non-baseball cities, that's how it goes. So right now, the fact that pitchers and catchers haven't reported sucks, but I don't care yet. It's not affecting me yet because we haven't missed games yet.
And it looks like at this point in time, if they get this thing worked out, the season will start as scheduled on April the 1st. So in that respect, maybe you're right. But I just think these kind of labor disputes that go on, and the public, and we're talking about it, and everybody's talking about it, it hurts the sport in the long run. That's my opinion, and I think it's true. And these things, and I know sometimes when you get to a deadline, things move a little quicker.
Deadlines
right?
make deals.
But man, get this
it's
stuff
stupid
done. It's just dumb.
That they welcome and seem to embrace the negative press that comes with it.
I guess, but and they've survived. Baseball has survived. I think they survived because of the steroid era in the 90s when they had this problem, and you had Sammy Sosa and Mark McGwire that saved the game. I mean, they saved the game back then. They did. And so who else? What's going to happen now? Who's going to save the game now?
It's going to be interesting because there's very few recognizable stars in Major League Baseball. And it's sad to say that, but it has become so regional, and there's so many other things to do that, there's 10, 15 that everybody can name, but there was a time where you could name everybody.
Absolutely.
I'm an Astro fan, and I can't name everybody on the Astros right now, partly because pitchers and catchers haven't reported. I want to see who shows up with the trash can, and let's go.
Yeah, I do too. And I'm a big Cardinal fan, and I'm going to know as soon as they get there, I'm going to know what's happening. And I look, some of the guys that are there and that are going to come back, but I just think that this in the long run hurts people. And I saw a message there on our Facebook Live. There is no better game to go to in person than a baseball game.
Absolutely.
It is absolutely one of the best things to do. But watching it on TV, the younger people, I'm going to watch it, especially if the Cardinals are playing. I'm going to watch it, or if whoever's playing.
Sure.
But especially the Cardinals.
Yeah.
But a lot of people aren't. And that's the problem. but they're still throwing around millions of dollars like it's candy. So I guess it's not an issue.
I know if I had a boy and he was a left-handed lefty,
absolutely,
he'd be pitching.
No question.
I'd have my retirement plan set up. Now, big news, we're solving the world's problems.
We are.
One at a time. We're getting a message from Indianapolis. They're listening to the Blitz. They've made some decisions. We're going to talk about that as we continue here on the Blitz. If you've got to make some decisions, especially now that football season is over, first weekend without the NFL, and you had a honey-do list you had to get taken care of, and one of those included cleaning your garage, yikes. You need to know about Garagenization and call them at 210-664-4494. If you need an organization solution for your garage, Garagenization is the company you need to call. I've got some of their products in my garage. I had an issue when we moved into the new house. I didn't have as much space as I did in the old house. They installed these great industrial shelves, which are fantastic. You've got your long-term storage because, well, they're shelves, but they've got these bars underneath that are adjustable. So now I can utilize that space underneath the shelf. Love the versatility. I learned about Garagenization from my neighbor. He's got overhead racks. He's got shelving units. He's got slat walls. He's got it all over there. You talk about garage envy. It's what they can do for you. Imagine having your garage functional for the entire family, where you can get both cars in, the kids' bikes, your golf clubs, all the other stuff that ends up in your garage. You can have a place for it. Call Garagenization 210-664-4494 and make your garage functional for the entire family. They're a great local veteran-owned company, have been since 2008. Learn more online at garageorganizationsanantonio.com. That's garageorganizationsanantonio.com.
Here we go again. Baseball owners and players can't agree on a new contract. The owners have locked players out. The players have refused a federal arbitrator. And no one's playing ball anytime soon. What will this mean for spring training? What will it do to the regular season? Will there even be a regular season? Stay connected and be in the know. San Antonio Sports Star, ESPN 1250 and 103.3 FM.
You can talk low carb all you want, but if you don't have a lineup of great tasting snacks behind you, you're not going to win the keto game. Southern Recipe small batch pork rinds are high protein and low carb. Plus, they're low sugar, gluten-free, and naturally loaded in collagen. So it is a no-brainer. Get the bold flavors of Southern Recipe small batch pork rinds at H-E-B and online at southernrecipesmallbatch.com.
Southern Recipe pork rinds.
Hi, it's Rudy J. I'm here with my lawyer, Jason Thompson, owner of the Thompson Law Firm. Jason, as I'm riding around the city, I notice your nice billboards. They look good, but
I have a couple out there trying to keep up with the competition, I guess.
They look good. Now, I get in a car accident. Am I going to be talking to you? I don't want to talk to some guy that works for you. I want to talk to the guy that's on the billboard.
No, I know. And you know that you talk to me, but you have, you and I have been friends for a long time, and I've represented you for a long time. But that relationship that you and I have is the relationship I have with a lot of my clients. And I think you're recognizing something that I don't know if everybody knows, that the face on the billboard for that firm might not be the lawyer that you actually get to talk to. Right. That's not true with me, as you know.
Right.
If you call 900-0400, my office number, and you have a question about your case, you're going to talk to me. I'm the lawyer on the billboard, but I'm the lawyer that will handle your case.
Call 210-900-0400, 210-900-0400, or a lawyerforus.com.
Thank you, Rudy.
Live, local, loud. KZDC, San Antonio Sports Star, ESPN, AM 1250 and 103.3 FM. Joe Reinagle, Jason Minix, The Blitz.
The NFL calendar always keeps turning. There's no football this weekend, but there's still plenty of football to talk about. It is The Blitz. He's Joe Reinagle. I'm Jason Minix here on San Antonio Sports Star, ESPN AM 1250, 103.3 FM. Earlier in the show, we were talking about the disaster that the Combine was becoming because somebody decided to create a COVID bubble at the Combine.
Yeah.
And a bunch of players and a bunch of agents said, screw this. We're not coming. Up to 155 players were going to not go and participate in the Combine.
Which is about half of what we're scheduled to go.
And probably more would have not.
Yeah.
If based on the restrictions. Mm-hmm. The NFL backpedaling, saying, well, we didn't make these rules. The combine did. The NFL senior doc was like, they didn't consult me on this, bubble. Almost like who knew that the NFL didn't control the combine? I had no idea.
I didn't know either.
No idea. Well, Tom Pelissero says the bubble is burst. The combine just informed players it has changed its policy and will now allow them outside of restricted areas next week in
Imagine
Indianapolis.
that all of a sudden.
Yeah. So apparently there's something called the NIC, the National Invitational Combine. And Ian Rappaport tweets out a message from the NIC that explains the rule changes that, yeah, all the stuff we said last week, yeah, forget it.
Well, of course. And there it is right there. Yeah, I see the, it was just dumb anyway. I mean, nobody's in a bubble anymore. They're not. We've got full stadiums. We've got last night, the All-Star game, full stadium. Right. And I mean, it's just bubble just seems to be old news, doesn't it?
It does, unless you're talking about the Olympics. I just love the PR spin on the statement from the NIC, the National Invitational Combine. It says, as has been the case throughout the pandemic, we continue to evolve our combine policies and procedures in consultation with medical experts. While masks continue to be required for air travel and during medical exams at the combine, players and medical personnel both, wearing a mask at other times while on site is recommended but not required. We encourage all players to remain within the secure combine areas at all times for your safety. However, if you'd like to leave the secure areas during free time in your schedule, you are now permitted to do so at your own risk. If you prefer, easy for me to read, if you prefer to remain in the secure areas and have approved medical support personnel, either therapist, massage therapist, approved athletic trainer, enter the secure area to provide medical treatments, please follow the previously communicated procedure and complete the form in Teamworks if you have not already. Teamworks is an app that a lot of pro teams use, right?
Yeah.
So basically they're saying everything we told you last week, yeah, the hell with it. Because we're continuing to evolve like everybody else during the pandemic.
Yeah, and it's funny how people evolve after they get hammered from all sides. That evolution seems to be a lot quicker than it just would be on a regular basis. And they got hammered by everybody. And I'm sure the NFL was saying, look, dude, you can't do this. We need this. We've got to have it. It's a part of the process, and we want it there. And so they changed their mind. And hey, I applaud them. Good for them changing their mind, whatever the reason was.
Well, and I'm sure the people in Indianapolis are thrilled. I look at the idea of the restrictions they put on. Almost felt like the first combine during this pandemic. At this point, I mean, again, we just saw a Super Bowl where there was a mask mandate in LA and everybody was at that stadium not wearing a mask.
Right.
Yet while we were in LA, you couldn't go to the Super Wings place in South Central without showing your Vax card and wearing a mask inside. It was very bizarre. But Tuesday after we left, they lifted that thing. I was at a concert Friday night. There was no mask.
No.
And it was a sold out show in Austin. The idea when the combine put this out was universally bashed, including that of the NFL. Even Adam Silver is saying, look, we got to fix some things in New York. I live in New York. We've got to fix some things at this point. And I think we're getting closer and closer to that. But I credit the NFL for evolving here, whether it's the combine people or the pressure that the NFL put on. But at the same time, the NFL and the XFL have reached an agreement to create innovative programs. And I talk about evolving. There were a lot of things with the Alliance. Remember when the original Commanders were a thing, the San Antonio Commanders before Washington, those scumbags stole our name. The Alliance wanted a partnership with the NFL, and the NFL said no. Some of the things that they were doing in the Alliance could easily work and should work in the NFL, and some of them, like the eye in the sky, they're getting there. And Mike Pereira was involved in the Alliance, and I think he's involved now with the XFL or the USFL. I'm not sure which one. I'm going to guess USFL since it's owned by Fox and XFL is owned by The Rock. But the idea of spring football, these pro spring football leagues, some of the differences could easily work their way into the National Football League. And the NFL is now saying, hey, we're not developing players, we're not sharing players, but yeah, you've got some ideas like, I don't know, a chip in the football. We might be able to use that down the road.
Yeah, and that might be good as long as it doesn't get too quirky. All right, don't quirk up the NFL. I know some of these spring leagues need to have gimmicks and that kind of stuff. But look, let's be clear about this. This is not to help the NFL necessarily. This is all about the XFL. Because if they can say, XFL, we're partnering with the NFL, so look at us. We're better than that USFL, so watch us. We're going to be a lot better. This is all for the XFL's benefit and not the NFL. So there was some kind of wink, wink, nod, nod. Hey, XFL, we'll help you out a little bit and be associated with you.
There's not an exclusive deal here. The NFL is also going to work with the USFL, and they're going to share ideas. And I think that's pretty interesting.
I find that fascinating, sharing ideas.
Well, they're not going to share players for developmental purposes, but the alignment is notable given the growing number of alternate leagues in the football landscape. It's described as a petri dish to experiment with proposed rules, test new equipment, develop prospective officials, which might be the biggest thing there. But I do find it interesting that it is not an exclusive deal, and basically partnership is what they're saying on this ESPN article.
Now, look, let's face it, Jason. I mean, these spring leagues have not had a good run of it.
No,
they haven't, right?
They've got to get through the first year, and when
they need the NFL. They need the NFL.
Well, they do need the NFL. Everybody needs the NFL, and I look and I know the ideas that they had at the Alliance, and we were all sold a bill of goods because we were told they had 3 years of money before they had to worry about turning a profit.
He meant 3 months, I think.
Yeah,
right?
53 days, right? The XFL, when it first came in last year, looked like it was doing well. Then COVID hit.
Right.
That wiped them out. This version of the XFL, The Rock and whatever Redbird Capital Partners is, I don't know how long they can sustain. But the USFL is owned by Fox. And so maybe having a television network own you and the promotion you're going to get will give it some legs. I've being a part of it, watching a couple of these leagues come in and fail, I really do believe if one can get to year 2 and then to year 3, they'll be on to something. And then the NFL might buy it. Then the NFL might use it as a minor league system. In the meantime, yeah, we'll help develop referees. Good Lord, we need them. The NFL needs some new officials, right? I don't know why they couldn't just, as these referees get good, just pluck them, right? I mean, but there does need to be some referee. But some of the rule changes, some of the like the onside kick in the Alliance. All right, put the ball on the 35-yard line. It's 4th and 12. If you pick it up, you get it. If not, they get the ball at 35. Well, if you do an onside kick and don't get it, it's about the same area. It's a safer play.
I like that. I do like that. I think that's good.
That was the one. There were a couple of Alliance rules that I'd have to go back and really look at that would say these should be in the NFL. The problem with that is you lose the surprise Sean Payton in the Super Bowl onside kick when nobody's expecting it when you line up on 4th and 12.
Well, the whole app thing too in the Alliance was good. I mean, where you could really get interactive with everything. Now, whether that would work in the NFL, I don't know.
Well,
and maybe
gambling's a part of the NFL now, so I would
exactly
imagine
right.
that technology.
And that's true. You know, back to the officials for just a minute. And I know we love to complain about the officials and maybe instant replay should be in effect and a chip in the ball and all of that kind of stuff, or cameras or whatever the case may be. But man, I don't want to take all of that away. I like the human involvement, even if it's a blunder of, well, I mean, like we saw in the Super Bowl with the Jalen Rose missed face mask. I mean, that was humongous, or it could have been. The Rams overcome that and they win.
Yep.
They've experimented with the idea of full-time officials. That's what the NFL needs. I mean, these guys are not full-time officials. They all have jobs outside.
Some are the main referees, but the other ones, you're right. They have other gigs.
When did that change?
Pledge, can you Google that? It's been a couple, 3 years, maybe longer, that the NFL did hire a handful of those guys as full-time.
Well, they need to
referees.
hire them all.
They do need to hire them all.
I mean, they need to be employees of the NFL full-time, just like the NBA is,
and work at it.
Exactly.
And that's what it boils down to. But you look at the officials, and I don't mind the eye in the sky if something is egregious, like that face mask penalty.
Right.
To have a guy in the booth, and that's kind of the way it was in the Alliance. They weren't looking for a holding call. They weren't looking for it. Was plays like that they could look back and go, no, this is what they were doing. And they did the reviews quick.
That's important too.
I mean, hell, when I was working in the Arena League, those reviews, because they were using our TV trucks cameras, the referee would come over, get on a headset. I'd be, you could hear what they're talking about as they were looking at it, and it was 2 quick look-sees, and boom, here we go.
Yeah, some of that stuff, it doesn't seem. I mean, if you're watching on TV and you can clearly see the outcome.
Yeah.
But yeah, these guys are taking 10 minutes, and Pledge has found that. And thank you, Pledge. 24 full-time game officials have been hired.
How long ago was that? What year was that? Neither one of our eyes are good enough to read that. 2018.
Yeah.
Thank you. I know Joe wasn't going to be able to read that.
It's up from 21 from 2017. So they've had full-time officials for about 5 years now.
So how many officials, though, are in the NFL on a regular basis?
121.
121. So that's less than a quarter.
Well,
of the officials in the NFL.
Look at the business side of things. I mean, they're all six-figure guys, right?
Have you looked at the NFL's profit margin?
I'm just saying.
It's billions.
You take $2 million in now salary and insurance.
You got Roger Goodell renegotiating a $40 million a year contract right now, and he's probably going to get a raise.
Well, that's because, he's not paying all these guys all that money.
Dude, I'm telling you.
Name a business that's willingly just going to put 121 people on salary, and they're six-figure jobs.
Okay, so 100 grand
what do you figure? Well, I mean, if you're the head referee, you probably get, I don't know, maybe 150, 200, depending on where they live. For some of those guys, 200 grand might be a pay cut.
Well,
some of these are lawyers and accountants and all those kind of jobs.
Well, so then those guys say, hey, you can't do it. You can't do it anymore. And you hire them, and you have a farm team of officials. What's wrong with that?
What do you figure? I don't care how many billions you make. Do you take 5 million and put them on there? Now, me, marketing genius that I am, I say you hire all these referees and you find an eye doctor to sponsor them. And then you take that sponsorship money to pay all the referees.
That's a great idea. Not bad.
And our referees today brought to you by Eye Masters.
Eye Masters.
Our head referee, Joe Reinagel.
All of these guys just had their eyes checked this week. They're fine.
That's it. And maybe we do a pregame eye screening. Is it 1? Is it 2? Is it 3? Is it 4?
Yeah.
Which one's clear? All right, you're good to go into the game.
A farm team of officials. I would like to see that. I really would. And make them all full-time. It's a full-time job. You come in.
Again.
And that's what you do.
Farm team of officials, XFL, USFL.
Could be.
There's where your farm team is going to be.
Well, it could be, but hire them by the NFL. Hire them. They work for you, and you develop them. You get some of these other guys that are older and shouldn't be officials anymore, perhaps, and then instead of going
that's age discrimination,
but instead of going to the TV booth, they become teachers.
Yeah, but TV.
They do both. It does.
Our rules official is not the worst part of the TV
They're
broadcast.
Horrible. Yes,
especially the dude on CBS.
Hey, Joe, what did you think of that call? Well, Jack, it was horrible, and I would have called it this way. Oh, well, that's great. Let's see what the official says.
Who is the guy on CBS?
I don't know.
Because Mike Pereira's pretty good. He's good. Blandino's good on television.
You mean Mike Carey?
Is it? No, it's Terry. Is it Terry McCauley or Terry whatever? I don't know. But, when he's on,
it shows
with
about
Nance
how much
and Romo.
attention I pay.
Because
to what those guys do.
I mean, I'm sorry, it's the Texans are on CBS. I don't get to see them very often. But if
ouch.
Romo and Nance are doing a game, Jim was like, Well, Terry, what did you see?
Gene's territory.
Gene, hey, Gene, what did you see? Well, what you saw here was the tackle was made at this point, and he just talks and talks and talks and talks until it's time for the referee to make an announcement.
Well, they probably told him to do that.
Well, I mean, but again, though, he doesn't tell me what he's going to call because he doesn't want to be wrong or go against what the ref is going to see.
But isn't that the whole point of it?
It is.
It's the whole
That's
point
why
of
he
it.
sucks at it.
To be fair, the guy before him was Mike Carey, who was wrong like 100% of the time.
Well, that's why he's not on the field anymore and in the booth, and he wasn't good at that either. Yet Reinego wants to make him a teacher.
I do. I want to make him a teacher and raise some of these guys, and you know what, and pull some of these guys out of the college game, or
yeah, but I mean, again,
and just make it you go from high school to college to the pros, the best at making.
Maybe they just need to have a referee combine.
I think they do. I think that would be great.
Don't they do that with baseball umpires?
They do.
You work your way through the minor league system.
They do. Yes, and it's important. You learn your craft. It's just like any job. Right? You don't start at the top. You start at the bottom and work your way up. You know, guys like you are still trying that. You kind of still there.
I'm trying. I mean, you just started right on the afternoon show. I mean, look at that. There's radio stuff.
Right there, baby.
Right there.
Right there.
Just join the varsity right out of the gate. That's what you're doing. You know, speaking of no football.
Yeah.
It's time to figure out what to watch on TV. This is important for me, but this is really important for you.
It is.
Since you're about to get a life.
Yeah.
Literally.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, one of the what people don't realize, you in the TV world, even though you work at a TV station,
yes,
you don't watch TV.
Don't watch TV,
and you work when everybody else is watching stuff. When your wife is watching stuff, you get home and you know that's like. I don't watch a lot of TV. Reinego watches twice as less as I do, which is impossible. Rob Thompson watches 5 times more than anybody else. I don't know how Rob watches as much TV as he does, or Jimenez. Although Jimenez says stupid stuff like, yeah, you know, at 6 a.m. I got up and I started watching this show. I mean, to me, that is just so ass backwards. Like, who gets up and does that?
Well, if we're trying to figure out Jimenez,
well, we're
good
not.
luck.
We're not.
Okay,
we're not.
That's impossible.
But there's I've been watching since I got back from the Super Bowl. Inventing Anna on Netflix.
That just does not sound good.
Dude, it is incredible.
Who's Anna? And why do we need to invent her?
Well, she's supposedly from Germany.
Okay.
Dad's supposedly rich.
Uh-huh.
And she's got a trust fund that will come due. She's trying to get in the New York social life with all the richity rich, trying to get 40 million. Hell, this chick stole a plane, a private jet. Oh, my dad's going to wire money. There must be a problem with it. Okay, go ahead, Anna, take the plane.
Wow.
You know,
okay.
Parties in foreign countries on yachts for an extra week. I mean, all kinds of stuff like that. And then, of course, there's a trial.
Of course there's a trial. Where did that come from?
Well, because she's scamming people left and right. She's staying for months at these ridiculously expensive hotels.
And daddy's not paying.
Daddy's not rich.
Oh, okay.
And Anna's not really her name.
Wow.
Her last name isn't. I mean, it's you know, it's just one of those kind of stories that you start watching it, and I was kind of the same way. I don't know, Joanna. I don't know, but all right, you're picking. Because, you know, I picked Pam and Tommy, which is also fantastic. So, yeah, for obvious reasons. Although I got to admit, on Hulu, the Pam and Tommy story, this is really good.
Yeah, I'm sure it is.
For a variety of reasons.
I'm sure it is.
But it's really good. But now's the time where I've got to start figuring out what am I going to watch.
You don't want to give us a review of Pam and Tommy?
So far, it's really good. I highly recommend it.
So that's all you're going to tell us.
Make sure
what makes it good, Jason?
Well, I mean, you've got sex, drugs, and rock and roll.
Okay, all right, I got you.
I mean, you've got it all.
And tapes.
Well, and lots of. But you know, the one thing about the whole videotape was, how did it make the masses to begin with? I didn't know that story, or I don't remember that story.
Okay.
The reality was, nobody knew what the internet was when they started selling it on the internet. It kind of takes you back to, what is the web? And how are we going to sell these on the web? How are people going to find it on the web? It's pretty interesting when you go back and you think about it. And, lots of wonderful scenes.
I'm sure.
I mean, just make sure the kids aren't home.
I'm sure there are.
Yeah. But that's worth watching. But I guess Hulu drops a new episode every couple of days or once a week or whatever. I don't know how Hulu works.
Yeah.
Because I don't watch a lot on Hulu.
Don't know.
But I think I'm up to episode 3 and it says episode 4 is soon.
Now I've heard you guys talking about, and not so much you, but more Rob and Rudy and Michael talking about stuff that they're watching. But I do need some help. So, because come a week from tomorrow, I'm going to be home at a decent hour and I can start, watching TV.
Decent hour means 7:30 at night.
Right. So I'll be home at 7:30 versus 11:30.
Mm-hmm.
And, I may be able to tune in for an episode or two of whatever. So if you've got some good advice, let me know. I would welcome that.
What Ryan Eagle is going to realize, or soon realize, is you get home at 7:30 and there's 3, 4, 5 hours of something you got to do before you go to bed.
Right.
That's what it boils down to.
That's what it is. Huh?
That's kind of what it boils down to. You can't go out every night. You can't always, my niece said that one time. She was like, sometimes you just stay home and do nothing. And I was like, sometimes your body needs
you want
to do that. Either your liver or your wallet are saying you're staying home.
Right.
That's what it boils down to.
No, I'm looking forward to that. I mean, like last night, even though we're watching Pink, and it was pretty good, actually, I will admit. But, it was just nice to be home, and especially after a pretty fun-filled weekend. So it was nice to just recover.
So it's going to be nice. So if you guys let us know what you guys are watching, what are some good shows, good series, good movies? Do you have all the streaming services?
Got them all, right? HBO Max. I've got Netflix. I've got Amazon Prime. Don't have Hulu, but to me, that's kind of the. I can start grilling too. That's kind of. I don't know. Is Hulu? I've heard mixed reviews on Hulu.
I've got Hulu. Pam and Tommy are on Hulu. That's worth $4.99.
That's it, huh? All right, so maybe we'll do that, but I don't know. I need to go get acquainted with the streaming services that I have.
I would say don't go add another one, because I've got. I think I have them all, and they're all going up in price.
Of course they are.
Of course they are. I don't have Peacock.
Now that one you need, right? Or Paramount.
I don't know that I have either of those.
I don't know. I know Paramount because there was a time when we tried to get started with Yellowstone, and I enjoyed that. But I think that isn't that on Paramount?
I don't know.
No, it's not.
Right.
It airs on Paramount, but it streams on Peacock.
Well, aren't those two different companies? One's CBS, one's NBC.
And one has the rights,
I guess.
The streaming, and
anyway,
one doesn't.
That was good, and I'll that kind of a series I'm going to enjoy, and I'd like to get caught up. Rob Thompson said something interesting to me back when we were in Los Angeles. He said, I'm jealous of you. He said, you can go back and start watching stuff that we've already done and experience it after the fact. And I thought that was kind of cool because you're right.
Well, I
never saw The Sopranos.
Dude,
I want to see The Sopranos.
You've never watched The Sopranos?
So that's something I'll start binge watching.
All right, that's number one.
That's number one.
That's The Sopranos.
So I want to start from episode 1 and go to the conclusion.
You know what? Rob's right, though. I mean,
right?
There's so many that I feel like I've missed. And then I look at, there's so many episodes and so many seasons. I'll never finish that. So I won't even start them.
Yeah.
But in your case, you're going to have a lot of free time, man.
See, Sopranos is the bomb, according to Vince.
And I'll tell you what, to get sidetracked here for a very good reason. And I don't know how they would do it at this point, but seeing that Sopranos themed commercial during the Super Bowl,
right,
where they mimic the drive and the music and everything about that, even though they say, no, it was just a commercial, I hope that is some sort of teaser to a Sopranos spinoff with the kids.
Well, wasn't Oh, that's the other one, Breaking Bad. I was thinking, Better Call Saul. Wasn't that a spinoff of that one, Breaking Bad?
Yeah,
it was.
I think it was. I never watched it.
Did you see Breaking Bad?
No.
See, I heard that was great too.
I'm not the biggest TV
guy.
I'm
not either. And
but you're about to be. But when I get into something, I'm into it. But I need some ideas. But,
we'll see.
But here's 2 + 2 because I'm an idiot. I need you to tell us what episode you're watching, but what service is it on?
Okay.
Because
what service does anybody know? The Sopranos. What is that on a service?
Well, it's
an HBO show, so it's probably on HBO Max.
Okay.
Yeah.
There you go.
Because I know, like with Netflix, I'll spend an hour looking at them telling me what I need to watch or going through all kinds of stuff.
Right.
Now if it's top 10 on Netflix, I'll go through those top 10 and go, okay, one of those. And I'm about 50-50 on that.
All right. Well, I'm excited. Yeah, Ozark is another one too.
Is fantastic.
Yeah, and that's something that I've heard. Bill Taylor told me about that one.
Ozark is fantastic. And the chick from Ozark is Inventing Anna.
Oh.
She's the star in that.
Okay.
Yeah, it's good.
A connection.
It is a connection. It is a connection. But imagine you're going to have a lot of time to sit at home and watch TV at night coming up at your house.
I'm looking forward to it. I am looking forward to it.
It is the Blitz here on San Antonio Sports Star, ESPN AM 1250, 103.3 FM.
You know what else I'm looking forward to, Jason?
What?
I'm looking forward to telling you about Stevens Roofing. And I'm excited about telling you about it because of the people over there. They are fantastic people. It's a family-owned business, and they will treat you like family. They serve all of us here in South Texas, and they're proud to do so. They're a local company, not a fly-by-night company, and that's important in the roofing business because there are so many of those. So many, especially after a storm or whatever the case may be, you get people coming out of the woodwork. This company, Stevens Roofing, is licensed by the city of San Antonio. It doesn't matter what you need. They can do it all. Commercial, residential. If you want a metal roof, they can do that. Composition, they can do that. Going to give you free estimates. They'll come out, they'll tell you what the job's going to cost and give you the estimate. They can also finance it for you if you want them to do that. And this best part for me is they're going to work with your insurance company. I don't want to do that. I want them to do it, and they're proud to do it. And they're going to guarantee their work in writing. They will stand behind that work. They are good folks at Stevens Roofing. So here's what I want you to do. Write this number down, 210-785-0994, or you can look them up at stevensroofing.net. But don't forget, Stevens Roofing is your local roofer.
Juwan Howard gets 5 games. Is that enough? We'll talk about it coming up after SportsCenter with James Pledger.
Thanks, Jason. In the NBA, the All-Star game ended in a storybook fashion last night as in his return to Cleveland, LeBron James and Team James beat Team Durant 163-160 as it was LeBron ending the game with a game-winning fadeaway to hit the target score. Steph Curry took home the MVP honors, scoring 50 while hitting a record 16 threes in the game, while San Antonio's own Dejounte Murray had a great night as he scored 17 points for Team Durant to go along with 5 assists and 5 rebounds. The Spurs will return to action on Friday. In the NFL, Sports Illustrated's Mike Fisher reports that the Cowboys are expected to prioritize re-signing wide receiver Michael Gallup this offseason. Gallup's recovering from ACL surgery from earlier last month. I'm James Pledger for San Antonio Sports Star.
Tonight isn't just epic, it's extreme.
That's right. The premiere of AGT Extreme with the biggest, most exciting acts you've ever seen.
Like people swimming less than 30 minutes after they eat. Extreme.
More like huge jaw-dropping acts. No special effects, no stuntmen, 100% extreme.
Like full contact knitting. Extreme.
Not exactly. This one's hosted by Terry Crews with judges Travis Pastrana, Nikki Bella, and Simon Cowell.
Ooh.
AGT Extreme premieres tonight on NBC.
Or a bunch of puppies.
Oh.
Extremely cute.
I give up.
Have you wanted to speak a new language, but thought it would be too difficult? Then try Babbel. Babbel starts by teaching you words and phrases that gradually get more complex. Soon, you're practicing short conversations. So in 15 minutes a day, you'll be speaking a new language in a few weeks. Babbel is built around real life. It teaches you practical conversations that you will actually use. Babbel, language for life. Celebrating 10 million subscriptions sold. Now try Babbel for free. Just go to Babbel.com today. That's BABBEL.com.
Get some green cash, money, money, money when you bring us your old or used Kubota equipment. That's dinero in your pocket. or trade in for a brand new Kubota compact tractor, Kubota construction equipment, or whatever else you might have on your Kubota wish list. Breaking up is hard to do, but we're talking green, baby. So don't miss out on the Ewald Kubota Trade Orange for Green cash offer going on now. From the Gulf of Mexico to the hill country of Texas, Ewald Kubota is your Kubota dealer.
What's done more to improve overall health and wellness, modern medicine or personal hygiene? Actually, it's both. But considering that bathing went mainstream in the 1800s and brushing your teeth in the 1900s, isn't it time for something new, like cleaning your nose? After all, your nose is the body's air filter for trapping dirt and germs, the first line of defense against allergens, bacteria, and viruses from getting into your lungs. But how do you clean your nose? With Navage. Navage isn't medicine, it's more like plumbing. Navage uses powered suction to pull saline in one nostril to the very back of the nose where germs can get trapped and multiply, and then out the other nostril, flushing out mucus and microbes so you can breathe better, sleep deeper, snore less, and stay healthier. Join over 2 million others and find out for yourself how refreshing and easy to use Navage is. At Navage.com, Walgreens, CVS, Rite Aid, Bed Bath, and Target. Navage. Clean nose, healthy life.
Hey team, it's a full house. We got to pick up the pace.
At Hank's Restaurant, the line goes around the block.
Is this for 12? Okay, I need the truffle oil drizzle.
What he needs is another line cook.
Oh man, are the quail breasts still in the sous vide? Dave, can you keep an eye on that, please?
Indeed can help him hire great people fast.
I need Indeed.
Indeed you do. Instant Match instantly connects you with quality candidates whose resumes on Indeed match your sponsored job description. Visit Indeed.com/credit and get $75 towards your first sponsored job. Terms and conditions apply.
Hello, this is Dr. Mark Havercorn of River City Oral Surgery. We're the practice that upset the industry by publishing all of our prices on our website, rivercityoms.com. We offer tooth extractions, wisdom tooth extractions, dental implants, all-on-4 dental implants for about 25% less than the competition, and all kinds of other face, mouth, and neck surgery. Why else should you come see us? Easy. Because we are easy to talk to, compassionate, and experienced. It's not impossible to get a hold of me. We'll call you back when we say we will. Unlike other places, dental surgeries are not the hardest surgeries I do. We do all-on-4 dental implant cases every week. I'm not sweating your case or pushing my limits. And if you have a complication somewhere else, you're probably going to be referred to an oral surgeon. So why not start with the expert? Call River City Oral Surgery and me, Dr. Havercorn, at 210-778-0002.
Jason Minix here for River City Oral Surgery and Dr. Mark Havercorn. River City Oral Surgery is a full-scope oral surgery practice on 1604 near I-10 across from Top Golf. Call 210-778-0002 or go to rivercityoms.com.
The play is in. The Blitz with Joe Reinagle and Jason Minix. ESPN 1250 and 103.3 FM.
You know, the worst part about this Wisconsin-Michigan end-of-game fiasco, you know, football law. It's the headline.
I know it.
There's no distraction there. And it was announced earlier that Juwan Howard was suspended the rest of the regular season, which is 5 games.
Right.
By Michigan. Turns out that's the suspension from the Big Ten, or the Big Ten is not adding to it, because the Big Ten has announced that Juwan Howard has been suspended 5 games, the remainder of the regular season, fined $40,000. Wisconsin coach Greg Gard fined $10,000, but not suspended. Michigan forwards, 2 Michigan players, 1 Wisconsin player, each suspended 1 game for throwing punches.
Well, that's where you draw the line. The throwing the punches, the argument, the finger pointing, the whatever. You know, that everybody can get away with. But once a punch is thrown, I mean, you've crossed the line, a line that you cannot do, especially if you're the head coach of a major college basketball team or any team for that matter. That's where you cross the line, and that's where Juwan Howard crossed the line. Look, maybe the suspension should have been longer, but I'm okay with 5 games. I'm okay with it. I would like to see him come out and say, you know what, it was a bad example that I set for my players, and it won't happen again. I would like for that to happen. Whether that does or not, I don't know.
My guess is it will.
Yeah, I'm sure it will.
I mean, they play Wednesday. Generally speaking, players and coaches are available the day before a game. I don't know if when Juwan Howard is going to speak, but I'm sure he will and address it and apologize. And, because clearly he's wrong there. I mean, you're a leader of men, you're a coach. You lost your temper, you threw a punch.
Right.
The same things you tell all your players you cannot do.
Got to control those emotions.
Absolutely.
You have to do that, and you've got to set the example. And, the $40,000, he's not going to have to pay that. Michigan will pay that. Wisconsin will pay the $10,000. That's
what I'm curious though is the Big Ten, the Kevin Warren, the commissioner of the Big Ten. We expect high level of sportsmanship, blah, blah, blah. Our expectation is that the incident yesterday will provide our coaches and student athletes with an opportunity to reflect, learn, and move forward in a manner that demonstrates decorum and leadership on and off the court. I was against Juwan Howard losing his job over this.
Absolutely shouldn't have lost his job.
But 5 games to me just seems light.
What would have been appropriate in your mind?
The rest of the season?
So playoff
rest of
tournaments,
the season, tournament go. There's 5 games left,
right?
And maybe if there were 10 games, 12 games left, or whatever the case is, 5 games just doesn't seem to be enough. Now it's a bubble team, but he's going to be able to coach in the Big Ten tournament,
right?
If they're able to make the NCAA tournament, he's going to be able to coach in the NCAA tournament. And what if they get hot and make a run to the Sweet 16 or the Elite 8 or the Final 4? Where's the punishment? Again, you're a coach. My standard, my expectation for you was a lot higher. I thought the players were going to get 2 because they threw punches. 5 games for a player, I think, would have been fine. I just think for a head coach that there needs to be stiffer punishment there. Rest of the season, regardless of number of tournament games, we're not putting a number on it. It just seems like we're so close to the end. Now, they're a bubble team for the NCAA tournament anyway. And without Juwan Howard coaching, without these 2 players, I don't know enough about Michigan basketball. Losing these 2 players, how much does that impact them? But it just doesn't seem enough when I see a coach throw a punch at another coach. The arguing, that's one thing.
Right.
But you threw a punch.
You throw a punch, that's stepping over the line. Here's what I want to watch moving forward. Obviously, Michigan is going to play in the Big Ten tournament.
Mm-hmm.
They may not make the NCAA tournament.
Mm-hmm.
Obviously, Juwan Howard was feeling some pressure. He didn't want to be embarrassed any further. He didn't want to, because it was making him and his team look bad. Now, that's one thing when you've got that pride and you don't want your players to look bad. I get all that, and that's admirable. But maybe he's feeling some heat from the alumni.
Sure.
And so all of that could have figured in is why he lost his cool so quickly. And maybe, although he hasn't lost his job now, they don't make the NCAA tournament, he might.
Did he win Big Ten Coach of the Year last year or year before? I don't know that I don't know that he was, at 14-11 and 8-7 in the Big Ten. I don't know that he was coaching for his job this week. And even if he was, for him to react the way he did is just wrong on every level. At the same time, I think Wisconsin's coach Gard probably should have got at least a game suspension, because when you watch the video, and I'm watching it again, Juwan Howard wants to just do the blow by.
Right.
And he wants to stop and instigate. Now, when Juwan Howard's like, he touched me and that set things off. I mean, it's like when you grab somebody's elbow when you shake their hand, or, it wasn't Juwan Howard, I had to protect myself, is what he said. It wasn't threatening, but he also didn't let Juwan Howard just walk by.
Yeah, and then that's what set Juwan Howard off. He said, "Don't effing touch me."
Yeah.
Right? So, and so that got in there. But you got to wonder, because it seems to me the Wisconsin coach maybe felt bad and just wanted to explain his situation like he did on the podium.
Mm-hmm.
Maybe that wasn't the best time to do it right at that point in time, but he wanted to explain to him that I had some players out there that don't get to play much. And, it was going to be difficult for us to get the ball across the timeline when you're pressing us and with the young players.
I look at it and I can see both sides of this. because they're both wrong, which is why I thought that guard maybe gets a game. But when I look at, Juwan Howard, let him coach his team, you coach your team at the end of the game. Basketball coaches lose their cool more than anybody. Right?
Yeah, they're hotheads, most of them.
Right. But to me, a lot of times it's the theatrics of the game. Are they really angry? I mean, how Greg Popovich, as angry as he's gotten at officials, have never punched one in the nose when you know damn well he wants to punch one in the nose.
Absolutely.
I mean, how he never punched Joey Crawford is beyond me. How he never Steve Javie. I mean, I don't even know Steve Javie, but I want to punch him in the face.
Right, Joey Crawford too, right?
All these coaches are always so fired up with the theatrics, and they get another coach to hold you back or all that, but they never lose their cool to the point where you want to punch somebody in the face.
Right.
So for Juwan Howard, a longtime NBA player and a short-time coach, he's gotten irate, and you can get mad and you can yell, but to punch somebody, that's why I feel like this just needs to be more than what he got. And maybe if they would have just said it's a 5-game suspension, you go, man, 5 games. But when you go, well, the rest of the regular season.
What sounds better that way?
Well, no, the rest of the regular season sounds like, well, you got a couple of games and then it's tournament time. So when the games really matter, come on back. Well, it just, you see what I'm saying? It just feels like, you want a punishment that has some teeth so we don't see anything like this again.
Well, did it say, and I haven't read is it suspension without pay? Plus a $40,000 fine. I mean,
it doesn't say without pay.
5 games with no pay and that's a lot of money.
All it says suspended 5 games, which is the remainder of the regular season, and fined $40,000. And that is from the Big Ten. And then guard gets $10,000. And I figure, both of these guys damn near incited a riot. It could have gotten a lot uglier. You think about, the malice in the palace. I mean, both these guys, guard seems to be getting off light, although I'm sure he's pissed that he's got a $10,000 fine, but not suspended. He should have at least gotten one because, it goes both ways on these coaches. And, Juwan does try to just walk by him. F you, dude, I'm just going to keep walking. And guard wouldn't let that happen. Well, I'm not trying to make an excuse for what Howard did. He was wrong, but I think guard is getting off pretty light here.
Well, why? Because he was trying to explain what happened? I mean, I'm not sure. I'm not sure I understand where that.
At what point do you just let it go? At what point do you go, you know what? I'm not making any headway with you. I'm just going to walk away because I don't need things to get ugly.
Well,
but you never expect a coach to swing a punch at another coach.
I think what he was trying to do was just say, look, I know you're upset with what I did. I want you to know this is why I did it. And he was trying to explain. I mean, have you ever tried to say somebody takes you wrong?
Sure.
And you want to explain to them what happened?
Absolutely.
So,
and if they don't want to listen, it doesn't matter what you're trying to do. It's just going to get uglier.
Yeah, but I don't know that means that he should be suspended a game or two. I mean, come on. He was trying to explain his point. And he still loses 10 grand.
A damn near riot.
Which he probably, it wouldn't have been a riot if Howard doesn't throw a punch.
True, but action causes reaction.
Oh my gosh. You just lectured us on how a coach should not lose his cool.
He shouldn't lose
his cool. And then you're telling me now it's a Wisconsin's coach.
I think they're both guilty. I just feel like
you can't throw a punch, period.
You can't
End
throw
of
a punch.
story.
You can't.
No.
You can't. It's interesting because you see that on a basketball court. You don't expect it there. A lot of times you'll see something like that at a bar, a bar fight. Yeah, right. I mean, it happens. You go in there, you're having a good time. You're not planning on getting arrested. All of a sudden, people get arrested every day for all kinds of reasons. If you get arrested, you want to get out of jail fast. Best way to do that, call my good friend Albert and his great staff at AA Best Bail Bonds, 210-225-2121. Text the word bail to 474747. Or you can even start the bonding process online at mybestbailbonds.com. You don't have to call attorneys or anybody else to get out of jail, and you don't want to be forced into a PR bond. If the jail offers you a PR bond, Make sure you truly understand what those conditions are before accepting it. Your best option, AA Best Bail Bonds for stress-free bail bonds. Nobody beats their price. They offer payment plans, have a free shuttle service. They're discreet and confidential and open 24/7 with offices all over San Antonio and Texas, services nationwide. License number 149, whether you're up in Dallas, down in Corpus, in the Valley, call AA Best Bail Bonds, 210-225-2121, or online at mybestbailbonds.com.
Ribs, burgers, chicken. Submit what you cooked on the grill or smoker, and you can win a $50 gift card from Tri-County Meat Market. Grilling with the Blitz. Online at sasportstar.com.
If you're shopping for a new vehicle, you need to go see my friends at Ancira Chrysler, Jeep, Dodge, and Ram Truck, part of the Ancira I-10 Auto Complex. Very easy for me to tell you about and recommend Ancira because I am a long-time Ancira customer. Through the years, I've bought many vehicles from Ancira, and it's because of their great customer service before, during, and most importantly, after the sale. When you start the car buying process, they are going to make sure you're getting the vehicle you want with the options and features that you're looking for. They'll give you great value on your trade-in, the best rebates and financing options that are available, and their service after the sale is second to none. And you know price made Ancira number one. Price keeps Ancira number one. So think Ancira. Ancira Chrysler, Jeep, Dodge, and Ram Truck, part of the Ancira I-10 Auto Complex on I-10 West between Wurzbach and Huebner.
The Roo Pub is the best place to watch a game. Football, basketball, the big fights, they have them on at the Roo on their 3 massive 170-inch laser screens and TVs all around. Come hungry, the food is fantastic, and the kitchen is open until 2 a.m. every day with the full menu available. The Roo Pub has the best darts area in town, indoor cornhole, and weekday happy hour from 11 to 6. For lunch, dinner, or late at night, and the best place to watch a game, get into the Roo Pub at 281 in Redland Road. We'll see you at the Roo.
Not all pizza places are the same. Mellow Mushroom originated hand-tossed, stone-baked classic Southern pizza. Not in the mood for pizza? Order a calzone, hoagie, sandwich, burger, or a mellow salad and see how care goes into every item on the menu. Take your pick from 24 draft beers and or handcrafted cocktails. And many of the pizzas can be made gluten-free or vegan. Mellow Mushroom is at 1604 in Stone Oak Parkway. Hang with friends, watch the game, and mellow out at Mellow Mushroom.
With a reputation of giving riders the winning edge time and time again, it's easy to see why Kawasaki KX is the bike that builds champions. Built to dominate the track and competition, every KX motorcycle embodies unrivaled power and performance to take the lead and stay in the lead. Get the advantage when you ride KX motorcycle. Kawasaki KX, the bike that builds champions. Visit Alamo Cycleplex today at I-10, just down from De Zavala exit, to shop our showroom floor or alamocycleplex.com online. Alamo Cycleplex, we sell fun.
Made in America, highest quality, locally owned business. That's Connecticut Quality Water Softeners. I'm Chris Knippa, owner of Connecticut in San Antonio in the Hill Country. There's a reason Dave Ramsey says a Connecticut is a wise investment for your home.
Trust me, Connecticut water systems are the best of the best. I personally have one in my home. All those other water softener systems out there are junk in comparison. Connecticut uses less water and runs on kinetic energy.
So there's no computer to break, fewer moving parts, and it works only when you need it.
It was even voted most efficient water softener in the world by the Water Quality Association.
A Connecticut is made right here in America, has the best warranty in the industry, and is the wise investment for your home. Plus, you can try a Connecticut water system for 90 days absolutely free with no contract. Call us at 656-PURE.
Check them out at ConnecticutSA.com.
Call 656-PURE, Connecticut.
The crazy world of SEC football.
I'm East Coast, baby. All you weak back Southern boys don't know nothing about East Coast.
The Paul Feinbaum Show, tomorrow afternoon at 2, San Antonio Sports Star, ESPN 1250 and 103.3 FM.
It's Rob Thompson. Join Rudy J and I tomorrow morning from 7 till 10 on San Antonio Sports Star, ESPN AM 1250 and 103.3 FM.
If you did any grilling over the weekend, I know you took a picture of that. Upload it, sasportstar.com. Grilling with the Blitz will give away a $50 gift card to Tri-County Meat Market on Thursday.
Yeah, it's been a fun show. What other show in San Antonio Sports Talk is going to give you stories like frozen penis? There isn't any.
No.
This is it. This is your place for those stories, folks.
Is that?
I mean, it was one of the headlines on R&R this morning.
Oh, really? It was a headline? Wow.
Well, who put together headlines this morning? James Pledger.
So he's intrigued by that story.
I was going to say excited.
Excited.
But yes. What, Pledge? Stories like that excite Pledger.
I get it. I understand. And I still have this sock on my Twitter feed here.
Are you gonna pin that up there?
It's like I can't not look at it.
You're just trying to figure out how to fill it.
Right, exactly. Well, one part looks like it's got more to fill than the other part. It's just, and whoever's wearing that thing needs a new one because that one's been used.
Well, I mean, it's
well, it looks cotton. It could have shrank in the wash.
Yeah, it could have. If that thing shrank, that dude is applauds.
I don't know what that means, Joe. Is that Maggie texting you? Like all of a sudden, penis talk and your phone starts blowing up. Who's calling you out?
Wow. If it was only next Tuesday.
Next Tuesday?
Next Tuesday.
I
could go right home.
You could go right home. Oh, that's right. You got to go to work
Yes,
tonight.
I do.
The question is, are you going to do the penis story tonight?
I don't know.
On Channel 10 on Ken's 5.
Channel 10.
Or Channel 5 at 10.
Probably won't make the cut, but
why?
I'll be thinking about it. Well, I just take this picture off of Twitter.
That's it. You could do that.
If you haven't seen the picture,
you could do the story. Ask Bill Taylor. Make Bill Taylor make it a part of weather.
You think?
I think. Look. If polar penis is a real thing, Bill Taylor's going to have a story about it.
Obviously, it is. So if the weather's supposed to get colder this week,
now it's a real fear in San Antonio.
Get a sock.
Whatever, dude. We got to go. We'll see you boys tomorrow.
Didn't catch R&R in the morning? Here's what you missed.
The storyline of Kanye is entertaining.
I'm telling you, and bless his heart. I say